heart of the Northwest, Century 105. After the draw with Juventus, a draw with Arsenal. The controversial game here in the Midlands counts for nothing. And the two big guns of English football at the end of this century meet again, with one of them knowing it will all end in tears. So who will it be? Will it be United's treble in tatters? Or will we see Arsenal's double dream demolished? It's that heartbreak stage, the semi-final of the FA Cup. Can you better listen as Manchester United meet Arsenal on Century 105?
Century Sports.
Don't break it down! Sensational! Messes outside his area, Solskjaer, what a finish! Solskjaer got his back across, and he goes! Goal for United! Solskjaer in post, goes up in the middle, getting kicked by post! Oh, it did! Right footed ball, trying to the post, goal! And the goal! York little ball, Solskjaer! 1-1! Ollie Solskjaer puts United back on turn! Beckham comes to meet it, keeper's lost, he scores back across, York! Great place, great time, great scoreline!
Century Sports with your local Northwest Ford dealer. Live from Villa Park, full match commentary on Manchester United versus Arsenal. The FA Cup semi-final replay. So good, you'll think you're there.
Good evening from Jim Proudman and Frank Stapleton at Villa Park. 4 days after a thrilling goalless draw, which saw United robbed. York into that key! Right, he scores for Manchester United! But it's chalked off because the offside flag on this near side has failed the Gunners out. Millions of pounds worth of talent on show, but none of the big names could muster a goal between them. Graham Lasseau and his ball almost takes in the path of Cole, and he's short, right footed, yes! Manchester United score a second, the save by Graham Lasseau. Left-hand corner of the penalty, yeah. Left-footed ball swung in. What a magnificent goal by Manchester United. Cole's finish routine.
Parlour again goes down inside the area, and the referee immediately points to the penalty spot, and Dennis Bergkamp strides up to see if he can score goal number 13 of the season, and becomes now right-footed. Strickler put it in. Everton 0, Arsenal 2.
Here's Anelka, and can Anelka do what he did in the cup final? Yes, he can! But tonight, Arsenal's influential World Cup winners back, as Man U tries to fire down Man U. Here's Van Persie, and he's scored! And France have won the World Cup! We'll bring you the whole game live with your local Northwest Ford dealer. Yet another game for the two championship rivals. That's one thing they didn't want.
It's a big programme for us, but I think what we did show in the last spell of the congested games, 6 games in 22 days, that we handled it very well. It was a great period for us. And equally so, that they're looking strong, and that's always a key factor.
Everybody could do without the replay, Man United and us, but we want to go through, we want to beat them, and that's why we are even happy to come back and have another chance.
It's Fergie against Wenger, United against the Gunners. Tonight there will definitely be a winner with more extra time and penalties on the agenda. But where will the axe fall? It's crunch time. Gut-wrenching, nail-biting, nerve-jangling cup football. Manchester United Arsenal live on Century 105.
Century Sports with your local Northwest Ford dealer.
Well, it may have been attritional, it may have ended goalless, but Sunday's match here at Villa Park was magnificent in its own way. A fantastic game of football, everything that's great about the FA Cup. But tonight, there'll be the drama of the big KO for someone. In the next 3 hours, one of these two sides will see their dreams destroyed. Have United lost their chance? They were the better side on Sunday, but they missed the sort of half chances that could see this game settled one way or the other. Tonight, Emmanuel Petit returns from suspension, and will, I'm sure, play a more significant part than Nelson Vivas managed before his dismissal. But then, we said that United might have lost their chance when they failed to get past Chelsea at Old Trafford in the quarter-final. Arsenal's record under Wenger's magnificent. They won the double last year. Like United, they're unbeaten since December. They also haven't conceded a goal for more than 11 hours of play. A worrying sign for York and Cole, who haven't scored for more than a month. That's probably the main reason that those two aren't in tonight. Alongside me, as always, one man who is in, Frank Stapleton, Cup legend with both these sides. What's going to win or lose this one tonight, Frank?
Well, I think it's going to be a piece of magic or a bad mistake by one of the players. But my feeling is that the game is just going to go to the wire again, right up to extra time and possibly penalties. I just get that feeling that there's not much between both the sides, and I just think that both sides really want to get through, how much Sunday's exertions will have taken out of them, we'll have to wait and see. But obviously, with playing at the FA Cup final at Wembley, and they know who their opponents are going to be, they must fancy their chances that whoever's going to win this game are going to go on and win the cup.
How much will United be affected by that disallowed goal? Because after the countless reruns of the video, they must feel cheated, and they must feel that they had already done enough, really.
Well, I suppose it's in a way felt cheated, but there's not a lot you can do about it now. That's why we're here tonight. I just think that it won't affect them when outside. The manager will have said, look, it's gone. It's like maybe somebody handling on the line and not getting noticed. I suppose the Tottenham manager probably thinking, they're afraid of seeing that we might have been in the final instead of Newcastle. But it's gone, and there's nothing you can do about it. You can complain about it forever. So they've got to get on and be professional and make sure that they do the right thing tonight. It's going to be tight. But maybe, that just one little bit of magic is enough to just turn it, because that's what it's going to take, because these two sides are very, very even.
The team sheet, who's in and who's out.
Alex Ferguson said to us that it was a squad game, and now we understand what he means. Phil Neville in for Dennis Irwin, that almost forced. Blomqvist for Giggs. Sheringham and Solskjaer in for Cole and York. As Fergie really rotates things. 4 changes. Peter Schmeichel in goal. Gary Neville, Yapstam, Ronnie Johnson and Phil Neville the back 4. Beckham, Keane, Butt and Blomqvist across the midfield, with Sheringham playing just behind Solskjaer. And on the bench for United tonight, York, Giggs, Scholes, Irwin and Raymond van der Gaal. What on earth do you make of that?
Well, the manager knows the players better than anybody else, and I just think that, he's either looked at it and said there's one or two suffering from Sunday, or he says got one eye on the European Cup next week. But whatever he's done, he believes that this is the team's going to get him through to the Cup final. A bit strange at times, you look at it sometimes, you think, well, why has he done that? Maybe he's put York on the bench, and Cole isn't even appearing on the bench. So maybe he's not being happy about the performances of the players, and maybe thinks that they need a kick up the backside. And it has worked on other occasions, but we're getting right to the wire now, Jim. And it's like hit or miss now. If you don't get a second chance tonight, there's got to be a result out of it one way or the other. And obviously the manager's put his head on the block a little bit, but he'd probably say that he was looking at other things, but he's probably looking at it and said, look, this is the way I'm going to go. I picked the best team I think is available. And let's be fair, most of the time he's got it right.
Jan said about 15 minutes ago that the 3 trophies that United have still got some involvement in, this is the least important to them. Do you think that's borne out by the team selection? Or do you agree with that? Yeah?
Well, I think that is an indication that that's the way he's thinking. It doesn't mean that he doesn't want to win it. It just means that his priorities are in the other 2 competitions. And that at some time you have to come to terms with that. What are you going to go for? And his choices come down. We're into the last few weeks of the season. He has to make his mind up. I think earlier in this competition, we looked at it. He played weakened sides in the early rounds, and they still came through. And he probably thought, well, okay, yeah, we want to win it. So if they'd have been knocked out, he probably wouldn't have been that upset. But he's in the semi-final stage now, and he wants to win as much as the other things. But if he was to go out tonight, he would be upset. But I think that his mind would quickly turn to other things.
Arsenal make 2 changes. Emmanuel Petit back after a 3-match suspension for getting sent off against Everton for that challenge on Olivier Dacour. Petit has served that 3-match ban and replaces Nelson Vivas, who's got a ban in the post for his sending off here. Lundberg comes in for Overmars on the left-hand side. Overmars struggling with blistered feet and also an ankle injury. Arsenal with David Seaman in goal, Lee Dixon, Tony Adams, Martin Keown and Nigel Winterburn, their back 4. Parla, Vieira, Petit and Lundberg in midfield. Bergkamp and Anelka up front. Steve Bold, Nelson Vivas, Mark Overmars, Mpanu and Lukic are on the bench.
Well, I think that's the best boost they could have got Arsenal after Sunday, because they were dominated for a lot of the game by United. But Petit coming back, world-class player in any team would, this player get in any team, and there's been a real plus for them this season and also last. But I think that they'll feel that they have to play better than they did on Sunday, and if they do that, they'll feel that they've got a real chance. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. But knowing Arsenal as I do, I think that they won't want to lose either. And that's what makes it so tight. In my mind, the game, it's hard to pick a winner. And I think it's going to go to the wire, as I said before.
The one thing that interests me, just looking back at that United side a moment, is the fact that he's got Teddy Sheringham, who's only played 18 games this season. He's only started 6 games this season. Now, I'm not casting aspersions on Teddy Sheringham because he's an international footballer, and still on the fringes of the England squad. But notwithstanding that, is he up to it?
Well, I think he is. I think he showed last week a great hunger for the game when he came on against Juventus last week. And he did make a difference. He put himself about a bit. And I'd like to see him do that from the start. As I say, in a couple of the starts we've seen him this season, he looks to have that little bit of hunger. But he wasn't even on the bench on Sunday. So what the manager's thinking about, I don't know. But he'll keep that to himself, I'm sure. But he has the ability to score goals. He has the ability. I would like to see Teddy Sheringham. I know he likes to join the play-up. I'd like to see him getting in the box because he is a very good finisher. But people tend to take that away from him. And he does know the position. Sometimes I feel that he gets too involved with the midfield play, drops too deep, and he tends to leave the other striker isolated in the box. I think that's important for him to get in the box tonight. And he could be the potential match winner for them.
Well, that's the team news. Let's remind you why we're here with a look back to Sunday's thriller at the Villa.
Manchester United versus Arsenal.
Bergkamp tries to play back into his stride. The pace of the Frenchman almost got it past Keane, who stood up firmly and made sure that he wasn't going to be beaten. Just stuck his foot in to slide it back towards Peter Schmeichel. Beckham towards Gary Neville right inside of the penalty area. Cross towards the far post. Giggs is arriving. Goals in there, trying to turn the former Arsenal trainee back to Giggs. Left footed shot on the turn, just over the bar. Right footed towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Adams header! Schmeichel is down to tip it over the bar. Here's Dwight York running towards the edge of the penalty area. Keane on the overlap right-hand side, drills the ball back across, headed away by Keown. Giggs left-hand side, turns inside, he's running up against the byline. York gets it up, Keane! Roy Keane scores for Manchester United! But it's short off because the offside flag on this near side has bailed the gunners out. And Gary Neville goes across towards the referee and he's furious. Ball play forward. York, ricochet off. Keown, back to York. York inside the penalty area and he hit it straight to David Seaman with no pace, no power and straight to him.
Half time.
Good ball by Gary Neville. Goal! Giggs tries to play the ball back across. He might still break for Cole. He couldn't quite. Cole lunging in, couldn't quite reach with the goal at his mercy. 5 yards outside the penalty area is where they've spotted the ball down. Gary Neville runs over it now. Beckham will strike it right, but it through the wall and just wide. And Vieira plays the ball forward. And Anelka has got goal side. It's Michael comes out. And Anelka has seen the goal writ large. Whacked it with probably the worst shot of his season. Beckham and Giggs over it. Giggs left footed. Seaman gets his hands behind it and makes the save. And the referee says enough is enough. And we'll play another 30 minutes of extra time. It's Arsenal 0, Manchester United 0.
Full time. Now into extra time.
But has it now, edge of the penalty area, and he went down off the ball under a challenge from Vieira, who will get a yellow card, and Nicky Butt will need treatment, and he's Vivas, in fact. Second yellow card, he's off. He's elbowed Nicky Butt, bursting forward, and Nelson Vivas, having received a yellow card in the first 5 minutes of the game, has got a second yellow card for that challenge on Nicky Butt, and Nelson Vivas is off, and United will play the remainder of this semi-final against 10 men. Beckham, right-footed, over the wall, took the deflection on his way over the wall. Bergkamp trying to turn Jaap Stam into the penalty, and he has done, and the shot took a deflection off Stam, but tries to tease over the top for Scholes, almost got goal side to Keown with his first touch, and Beckham won't quite pick it up before it goes out of play. Solskjaer left-footed volley back across the face of goal, and on the end of it was York. He managed to direct his header into the ground, but not towards David Seaman's goal. Hanu to his right-hand side. They've got a runner in. Arsenal got a decent chance. Great save by Schmeichel from Freddie Lundberg. And Manchester United are still in the FA Cup. York! Oh, just wide. Wouldn't have counted in any case. The referee's following infringement, a push, I think, by York. And the referee says full time and 120 minutes of gripping football. Ends Arsenal 0, Manchester United 0.
Century Sport with your local Northwest Ford dealer. Live from Villa Park, full match commentary on Manchester United versus Arsenal with your local Northwest Ford dealer.
Who did Arsenal beat in the FA Cup semi-final last year?
You show me yours, and I'll show you mine.
Oh, Granville, mine is a 2 for 1.
Well, darling, mine's bigger than yours. It's a 4 for 3. At Bellevue Greyhound Stadium until the end of May, say you heard it on Century 105, and you can have 2 for 1 admission and your first 2 drinks for the price of 1. In the restaurant, it's 4 meals for the price of 3.
It's not size that counts, Granville.
I know, me darling. It's what you do with it. Book now on 0161 223 8000. Big offers every Tuesday until the end of May at Bellevue Greyhound Stadium. It's the dogs.
I'm sitting on the assembly line up here at Nissan's factory, watching all my cars go down to Kingsway Nissan in Rochdale, Oldham and Ashton-under-Lyne.
Fine, Spring Sale must be doing really well. New Micras from $6,995, Almira's from $8,995, and Primera's from $12,495. And with up to 3 years interest-free credit too, subject to status, it's time you got yourself a crazy deal at Kingsway Nissan. Because if they keep selling them, I'll keep making them.
Here at the Crucible, you could cut the atmosphere with a large knife. This has to be the most exciting final in living memory. £200,000 on this shot. Oh my word. I said I'd meet Dave down at the King's Head at 7. Where did I put my coat?
Some people, you just can't keep them away from a guaranteed good time at a Greenall's pub. So make time for the best times at your favourite Greenall's local.
Harrison McCarthy, who provide the North's hottest prices on central heating and plumbing to trade and do-it-yourselfers, have teamed up with Halstead Boilers, Britain's top quality producers of the best wall-mounted, freestanding and combination gas boilers. Starting at £289 plus VAT, Harrison McCarthy and Halstead really are unbeatable.
We won't be beaten.
At Swinton and Stockport, any day but Sunday and Saturday afternoons.
Arsenal got to Wembley last year by beating Wolves in the semi-final.
Live from Villa Park, full match commentary on Manchester United versus Arsenal.
Manchester United against Arsenal just over 10 minutes away, and again the Arsenal fans, I'm ashamed to say, have been in better voice, and that's despite some criticism from Alex Ferguson in that direction towards the United supporters on the telly, saying that he's very disappointed at the level of support that the club got during the game on Sunday, Frank.
Well, I think they all got in before the United supporters. That's M6 South was a bit chock-a-block this afternoon, and I got down here early, but even then it was building up. And also I spoke to the box office yesterday at Old Trafford, and they had still 5,000 seats left. This was like yesterday afternoon, and they were sort of desperate to get rid of them, so that may be the reason. It just looked there's lots and lots of empty seats over there, Jim, at the front.
Well, United, of course, potentially had to play 11 games in 45 days because of the replays. That might be something that's got to do with it. But Fergie reckons the players can rise to the challenge.
It's a big problem for us. But I think what we did show in the last spell of the congested game, 6 games in 22 days, that we handled it very well. It was a great period for us. And equally so, they were too strong, and that's all the key factor.
Do sometimes players prefer that rather than sitting back and waiting?
Well, they were talking about it this morning. It's always that mixed bunch. There are plenty of players in there all saying this morning, I would rather the game and train this time of season. So you get a mixed balance there.
What about the Arsenal game? Looking back on it, do you feel a little bit robbed about that?
Well, it's gone now. I was interested to see that Paul Durkin apologised to Tottenham about missing the handball. You would hope that you'd get an explanation for the referee, but we just gone there.
Sometimes these things happen during the game. It can go both ways sometimes, can't it?
Yeah, that's right. Sometimes you get beat, sometimes you don't. On this occasion, it's been, went against us badly,
You could understand it if the players were still smarting over that disallowed goal. Ryan Giggs and Nicky Butt and the others have to put it to the backs of their minds.
I can't see, how they could disallow it, really. But it's something that, you've got to live with, we've got to get on with, and there's nothing we can do about it now.
It makes a busy schedule coming up in the next few weeks, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's a game that we didn't really need. But, at the end of the day, it's semi-final of the FA Cup, and everyone wants to play at Wembley. We've just got to get on with it. It's big game after big game, but that's what you want at this time of the season.
It was a hard game. It was a sort of physical game. But I think at the end of the day, we deserved the victory, but we didn't put our chances away. And I think that's our fault, and we've got to build on that.
Was it a big disappointment at the end, the fact that it finished 0-0? I mean, did everybody feel a bit low at the end?
Yeah, I did, because the last thing we was in it, we played with all the big games we got coming up. Being a semi-final of the FA Cup as well, we wanted to make sure we win it. Now we've got to do it all again. I think we had a lot of the play. I don't really know about the percentage of the play, but I'm just the way I felt on the pitch, and most of us felt we deserved to win. We had a lot of the play. So that's why I was disappointed, I think.
It does sound, being honest about it, Frank, as though Ryan Giggs and Nicky Butt both sound very deflated about it all still.
Well, I think when you ask a specific question just about that particular incident, I think, on the other side of it, they did have most of the game, but you've got to create, and they did create, and they've got to take their chances, and whether there is many chances tonight, we'll have to wait and see, but it's wipe the slate clean. Different team out there. Some tired legs, some fresh legs, and we'll have to see what difference makes. There's nothing you can do about it now. It's the next match that counts.
It's the FA Cup semi-final replay. There is other action tonight. United could be knocked off the top of the table. Chelsea go to Middlesbrough, the win enough to take them above both United and Arsenal. Here's Gordon Cox.
This has all the ingredients of a classic. If Chelsea win tonight, the agony will be doubled on either Manchester United or Arsenal, both of whom would be leapfrogged at the top of the table as they fought to a finish in the FA Cup at Villa Park. But Middlesbrough haven't lost to Chelsea on Teesside since 1931 and have lost just once at home in the league in over 18 months. Chelsea have won 6 of their last 7 away from home, Borough 4 of their last 5 at home, conceding just 1 in their last 6 matches. Team news will follow shortly. Both sides are expected to be at full strength, although there is a doubt for Middlesbrough with Paul Gascoigne.
And Manchester City can go third in the second division if they beat Luton. Chris Cooper.
If City get the 20th win of their topsy-turvy season tonight, they'll go third in the second division table, their highest position since the opening day of the season when they don't really count, and just 2 points off second place Walsall, albeit having played 2 more games. The run-in looks comfortable, Gillingham away apart. Wickham, Bristol Rovers and York are all the sort of games Joe Royle may have hand-picked to end the season with. Luton are safe, but like so many sides, will surely raise themselves at Main Road, so Joe will have City well wound up, for they can't afford this to be another Oldham. They have to win. One change for City in the starting lineup. Richard Edgehill is in for Danny Teatto, and what a big night for Terry Cook. Unless a deal struck by Friday with United, this is last game at Main Road for City.
We'll keep you up to date with everything that goes on elsewhere around the country tonight, but it's Villa Park that takes centre stage. Manchester United against Arsenal in the FA Cup semi-final replay. Newcastle awaiting the winners. And let's hear Jan Molby's scouting report of the Gunners ahead of the big rematch.
Molby's match notes on Century 105.
Well, I'm sure that, Arsenal is not going to play as poorly as they did on Sunday. I don't know whether it was United being particularly strong on the day, but certainly some of the major players in the Arsenal team weren't doing their job in terms of creating chances. So they will obviously hope that like the Beckham be more of a threat than what they were last Sunday. But certainly what we spoke about before that game, and it's always the same with Arsenal. Defensively, they were sound even when they were down to 10 men.
The strengths.
The main strength, Arsenal is of course, it's one of the few teams, even against one of the best teams in Europe, Manchester United. They're still capable of keeping those clean sheets. That will be where they build from. There'll be no difference in this game. It's just how much will they offer going forward. And of course, having Emmanuel Petit back will be a major boost for Arsenal.
The weaknesses.
It's always difficult to say what the weaknesses are for Arsenal. Sometimes you sit and look and you think, well, the fullbacks are getting on a little bit. Let's try and get the wide boys and try and attack them. But United's wide men are not playing particularly well. Beckham and Giggs. Overmars is missing. That will be a blow. But in terms of a lot of the weakness there isn't. It's a bit like the Manchester United teams of this calibre don't have a lot of weaknesses.
Molby's match notes on Century 105. Live from Villa Park. Full match commentary on Manchester United versus Arsenal.
Now, Arsenal were the last team to win the FA Cup in extra time back in 1993. Who did they beat?
It's almost time for supper where you are. But here in Lynchburg, Tennessee, it's about dinner time. See, we have dinner when most folks have lunch, and then what most folks call dinner, we call supper. That's one thing we do differently here in Jack Daniels country. Another is to make whiskey the way Mr. Jack did, mellowing each drop through charcoal till it's sipping smooth. Nobody else goes through this charcoal mellowing process. Guess that's why nobody else has a whiskey that tastes quite like ours. Some things never change. Jack Daniels is one of them.
What's this? Spend a free weekend with Beckham, Giggs and Keane. I see them whoever days it is. It's not for you, Alex, it's for our fans. This weekend they can watch MUTV absolutely free from 6 p.m. to midnight, Friday to Sunday. We're playing Sheffield Wednesday at home on Saturday, That's right, and after the match, viewers can watch an exclusive interview with you. I'll do that, okay? The offer's available to Sky Digital and cable and wireless subscribers. Call 0870-848-6888 for more information and watch MUTV free for the weekend. Well, I want to know why not.
Free preview weekend takes place from Friday 16th of April to Sunday 18th of April inclusive. Free offer does not apply to existing MUTV subscribers.
designed by Dent's Garden Centre. Dent, much more than just a garden centre. You'll find us close to the Greyhound Arch on the East Lancs Road near Leeds.
Well, what a great piece of punditry, Ron. Well, thank you, Bob. It's not a patch on yours. Sharp, stylish, reliable, yet friendly. Really the complete package. Is that a new tank top, I see?
The Fiesta Finesse. Lively, stylish, and at $7,995, your best friend on wheels. At your Northwest Ford dealer now.
6 years ago, Arsenal won the Cup when they beat Sheffield Wednesday.
Live from Villa Park, full match commentary on Manchester United versus Arsenal, the FA Cup semi-final replay. So good, you'll think you're there with your local Northwest Ford dealer.
He was the darling of North London, but the other half of North London. 99 goals in 197 games for Tottenham saw him reviled by Arsenal fans. Now after just 6 starts for United this season, the man who left Spurs to fill up his trophy cabinet will try and do just that against the old enemy as Fergie drops Cole, York and Giggs and Teddy Sheringham takes centre stage. Fergie's adversary Arsene Wenger's been a thorn in the side of United, who failed to beat Arsenal the last 6 times it met, with the fastidious Frenchman beating Fergie 4 times in the process. Tonight, after riding their luck 3 days ago, Arsenal will try and continue that run. But United have won through the last 9 FA Cup semi-finals they've played, an extraordinary record that includes a 2-1 win against Arsenal here at Villa Park. That was back in 1983. 16 years on, will history repeat itself and take Manchester United through to their 15th FA Cup final and the chance to take the treble, or at the very least the domestic double, for the 3rd time in 6 seasons.
Well, we're right to see. You know, for both of these sides, it's a chance of winning the double, and we just feel that tonight is the night of destiny here, because this could decide which way both sides go. They could end up with nothing, or they could end with everything that they're left in. And it's an intriguing match, and I'm looking forward to the battle in midfield between Butts, Keane, Vieira and Petit, because I think that really is where things are going to happen. And whoever wins that battle, I feel, will have the edge tonight.
Manchester United have Peter Schmeichel in goal, Gary Neville, Jaap Stam, Ronnie Johnson and Phil Neville the back four, Beckham, Keane, Button, Blomqvist in midfield, Sheringham behind Solskjaer up front with York, Giggs, Scholes, Irwin, no Andy Cole and Raymond van der Gouw on the bench. David Ellery's the referee. He will have had a lot to think about over the last 3 days, and he gets us off and running live on Century 105 with your local Northwest Ford dealer. Keane picking it up on the halfway line and laying it back to Gary Neville, who's right-footed ball forward. It's chested down by Sheringham and played out towards the right-hand side for Beckham. High ball inside the penalty area from Beckham. Headed down by Dixon on the edge of the box, and Vieira will be able to bring it clear for Arsenal just outside his own penalty area. Stabs it forward to Nicholas Anelka, wearing gloves tonight on a chilly-ish evening here in North Birmingham, but certainly not as cold as it has been over the last couple of days. Vieira will bring it down in the midfield. Good foot comes in from Keane, who will play the ball towards Blomqvist. Blomqvist with plenty to prove. Plays it forward. Little bit of a shoulder barge in midfield, gives United a free kick against the 2 French midfielders. And Blomqvist, the recipient, and will just cut out towards the left-hand side, and the free kick is played short towards Phil Neville. Phil Neville onto his right foot, lays it back for Keane. Keane's ball forward to Butt. United close down very quickly in the midfield. Johnson lets Gary Neville come across and deal with that. He will play it back towards Peter Schmeichel, to the boos of the United fans. And conceivably, this could be the last ever replay in the FA Cup. No replays next season at the final, of course. They settled inside the 90 minutes for the first time of asking, and this is history in the making. Vieira will take the free kick, stabs it forward for Anelka inside the United half of the centre circle. He turns under pressure from Keane and lays it out towards the closely cropped head of Nigel Winterburn. Winterburn, Brummie-born, plays it forward. Caught by Anelka was Roy Keane, and then Anelka went to ground as well. But will pick it up and lay it out towards Gary Neville on the right-hand side. David Ellery let everything flow in the game here on Sunday, having booked 2 players in the first 5 minutes. Gary Neville and Nelson Vivas both getting yellow cards in the very early stages. And certainly Gary Neville had already got his yellow card by now. And Winterburn will turn the ball forward on that far side. David Ellery showing signs that he's going to let as much go tonight as he can as well. Ball out of play. Throw will be taken on that far touchline. 15 yards inside the Arsenal half. A little bit further than that perhaps. Gary Neville will take it. Just drops it short towards Keane. Keane takes it out towards that far touchline. The United right as they defend the Holt end, where a lot of their supporters are massed on one half of the Holt end, the Arsenal fans on the other. But there are empty seats here tonight. Remember United being involved in the FA Cup semi-final replay here against Crystal Palace 4 years ago. There were plenty of empty seats that night as well. Keane down towards Stam towards this left-hand touchline. Will be brought forward by Phil Neville with 2.5 minutes gone. Live on Century 105 and on the World Wide Web. Hello to you if you're listening perhaps in Australia in the middle of the night on www.manutd.com. We're proud to bring you live exclusive internet commentary from this game here at Villa Park tonight. Ball thrown forward on that far touchline. Gary Neville picking up possession, dropping it short of Beckham. United have had the majority of play in the opening 3 minutes. Down towards this near side. Dixon will head it clear. Parlour stabs it back towards him, and Dixon's got a bit of space to work with as Arsenal in their first choice kit of red and white play it forward, and United in white shirts just see Ronnie Johnson lay the ball back to Schmeichel, who's in a hurry to get on with it inside his penalty area. High, long clearance by Peter Schmeichel. And the end of it, Tony Adams just gets the ball past Solskjaer, brought down by Stam. Stam out towards the far touchline with Gary Neville. Cushion header towards Keane in the midfield, dispossessed by Petit, who stuck his foot in there strongly. Played forward by Bergkamp, playing his 150th Arsenal game tonight to Anelka. Ray Parlour picks up play on the right-hand side, drives the ball inside the penalty area. Stam heads it away at the near post. Phil Neville tries to get it further out. Picked up on this near touchline by Dixon. Couldn't get decent contact on it. Sheringham dropping back will play the ball into the feet of Blomqvist. Sheringham gets a return ball from Phil Neville right to challenge for Petit, and will swing the ball forward over the halfway line. Beckham, who's come from the right-hand side into a more central position, is dispossessed by Lundberg, who trapped back with him. And the ball goes back to David Seaman. 4 gone, Frank Stapleton, 0-0.
Well, there isn't much between the two sides at the moment. United have had the brightest start, but there are tackles flying in, and one or two have missed the target this early, but it's like a chess game, just waiting for the opening to come, and we're very, very tight at the moment.
Dixon plays the ball down this near touchline. Phil Neville in very strongly, managed to get the ball past Ray Parlour, and a good throw to be taken by Lee Dixon on this near side for Arsenal. Referee David Ellery says go no further. Ray Parlour will chip the ball forward over the top after Dixon's throw, down towards the Anelka on this near side, takes it down towards the corner flag, and is fouled there on this near touchline, Nicholas Anelka. Play will continue though. Referee didn't think that was worthy of a free kick, and it'll be played by Keane out towards the far side with Gary Neville to bring it forward down the United right, 15 yards inside his own half. He will bring it forward towards the halfway line, and it'll be picked up by Nicky Butt forward towards Solskjaer, stabbed forward by Sheringham. Keown will pick it up and lay it out towards the left-hand side, and there's already been a goal at Main Road. Manchester City leading Luton by 1-0. Paul Dickoff, who got that hat-trick against Lincoln, the first of his career, gets his 12th of the season. 6 wins in 7 for City if they win tonight, and they'll go third above Preston. Ball played forward, down towards this near side, and the referee spots a foul on Nicholas Anelka, a free kick which will be taken 2 yards inside the United half. And it will be taken by Patrick Vieira, World Cup winner. Petit also a World Cup winner, of course, back in the side after that 3-match suspension. Bergkamp down towards this near touchline. We'll see Vieira slide the ball forward. Phil Neville will track back towards the corner flag and turn it at the corner flag down towards this near touchline for Blomqvist. Dixon wins it back. Stam gets it clear, a very aerial clearance, which will be brought down on this near touchline by Vieira, but he couldn't control it straight out of play for a throw, which Blomqvist will take without either foot on the perimeter track. And United needless to squander possession as it was thrown quickly in towards Nicky Butt, and the ball went straight from Butt back out of play for an Arsenal throw, Frank.
Well, he didn't need to throw it. There are 2 players out the side of him, and Blomqvist seemed to think that he would just get it to him very quickly and give him no option, and moved away. The ball in the end was given back to Arsenal.
Parlour has it on this near touchline for the Arsenal. Nicky Butt again puts the ball out of play, this time totally intentionally. Or let Parlour strike the ball off and out of play for another Arsenal throw to be taken by Dixon, 10 yards short of the edge of the penalty area, into the feet of Dennis Bergkamp. Bergkamp lays it back to Martin Keown. Keown onto his right foot, square through the midfield for Vieira. Vieira inside the centre circle for Petit, and then Vieira getting the return ball, swings it first time out towards Winterburn on the left-hand side. And the game very cyclical in the early stages, like it was on Sunday, where Arsenal dominated the first 5 minutes, and then United had a decent patch of about 10 minutes. It's gone the other way, with United having the best of the early 3 or 4 minutes, and now Arsenal getting more into the game. Played forward by Gary Neville, forward for Solskjaer. Solskjaer to Beckham. Beckham swings one down towards this near side, very nearly cut out by Parlour, but his opposite number 15, Jesper Blomqvist, can bring it forward. Down the United left, finds Butt into the feet of Teddy Sheringham, who was almost crouching as he received that ball, with Martin Keown putting the challenge in. Played forward towards Nicky Butt once more, promising for United. Butt shakes to shoot, lays it out towards the right-hand side, trying to bring Sheringham into play. Closed down quickly again by Arsenal, who can bring it clear to Anelka.
Sorry, guys, it's made way play on, but I just thought it was a foul there for United. Nicky Butt played a 1-2 and he got brought down by one of the central defenders of Arsenal, and the referee just waved play on. He was watching the ball again.
Throw will be taken on that far side by Arsenal, who's also crunching challenge. Came in from Keane on Anelka in the midfield, and it'll be brought forward up that left-hand side by Nigel Winterburn. And Winterburn on that left-hand touchline will just play the ball forward for Freddie Lundberg, the Swedish international, who still just scored that one Arsenal goal. It came on his debut against United on that sunny September Sunday afternoon, live on Century 105 earlier this season at Highbury. Keane plays it out towards that right-hand side for David Beckham. Beckham, highlighted hair, just down towards Sheringham in the midfield to Keane. Keane stabs it off, eager to get rid of it to Phil Neville. Back to Beckham on this near touchline, who's certainly had almost a roving role so far. Back towards Phil Neville, pushing forward, down towards the corner flag on the left-hand side for United. Chips the ball back across, and the volley towards goal from Solskjaer was always going over the bar, but it was a sharp chance, and United doing well to get into the bar with Phil Neville down the left.
Yeah, it's a quite confident run there, Phil Neville. Took three players when it went past Vieira quite easily. Actually knocked the ball towards the corner, but got his left foot round on it, and the ball was just behind Solskjaer. We tried to loop the ball, volleyed the ball into the corner of the net, but it just went past the post. But an encouraging start by United. They've had good possession, and they look the more likely at the moment, but of course the game can swing from side to side as we saw on Sunday.
David Seaman's ball forward is headed on by Lee Dixon on this near touchline, out of play for a throw, which will be taken by Phil Neville. Just looking down at the stats, Cole without a goal in 5, York without a goal in 6, and Sheringham, their replacement, hasn't scored since December when he got a goal in the Cup away at Tottenham. Again, live on Century 105 in a 3-1 defeat for United. The only Cup match that they've lost so far this season, coming down in the Worthington Cup quarter-final stage. Ball played forward by Bergkamp for Anelka. It's a great ball. Thankfully, Anelka couldn't take it in his stride. It hit his heel as he tried to bring the ball into his stride and bounce back for United. Vieira has it again in the midfield and places it down towards his near side, where Lee Dixon will bring it forward on his right foot, 5 yards inside his own half. Lays it square towards Vieira. Vieira ball for Parler. Parler to Butt leaves it for Keane. Stab forward once more. Good ball as well. Sheringham towards Solskjaer. Solskjaer lays it back for David Beckham. Beckham 5 yards inside the Arsenal half. Square towards Keane. Keane on this near touchline. Blomqvist makes a run down the left-hand side. Phil Neville is there. And Phil Neville will be played in by Keane. 2 yards in from the left-hand touchline. 10 yards short of the penalty area. Curling ball inside the box. Little flick header came from Sheringham, and the referee says that the last touch came off one of the Arsenal defenders. Tony Adams it was from United to have the first corner of the game.
Yeah, there was a good ball in, a dangerous ball. The thing is that Tony Adams trying to win everything and came all over Teddy Sheringham on that occasion, but I think that United look to have the better of this game, and hopefully they can make it count.
Corner will be taken on that far touchline. The first of the game. David Beckham swings it in right-footed, looking for Johnson, headed away by Keown, brought down on the edge of the box by Butt. Here's Roy Keane, right-footed shot, took a deflection. Came off Nigel Winterburn for another United corner. Another goal at Main Road, where Manchester City have had a fantastic start. They lead by 2-0. Paul Dickoff and Tony Vaughan getting the goals. Near touchline. David Beckham will spot the corner down. 10 minutes gone here at Villa Park. It's 0-0. Beckham right-footed ball in off Ray Parler. And 3 corners now won by United in the space of 60 seconds or so. And you gamblers at home listening on Century 105, having bought or sold corners, I hope for your sake that you've bought them. David Beckham will play a disappointing one this time in towards the near post. Very low trajectory, which is easily cleared by Dixon, the man at that near post. Down towards Blomqvist on this near touchline. Beckham's right-footed ball in. Causes almost all kinds of problems with Solskjaer sliding in the 6-yard box. The Seaman came out and anticipated the situation and made the save.
Well, that was a very, very dangerous ball. It was played on the backside of the fullback. It was Cohn on that occasion. And if we just had an area runner from one of the United forwards, Solskjaer made the run, but it was a little bit too late. But if he just got across the face of the goalkeeper, he would have been in trouble, Seaman.
Schmeichel has it away to our right-hand side. Who can see that's supposed to be his last ever FA Cup side. Flicked on by Sheringham, look for Solskjaer, and laid by Tony Adams down towards Lee Dixon, almost caught in possession by Blomqvist. United have looked lively in the early stages. Adams will bring the ball away by feeding Nigel Winterburn. Won 540 games now for Arsenal. Nigel Winterburn bringing it forward on the left-hand side. And Anelka, the lone striker, Bergkamp playing behind him in the early stages. Keane slides in. He surely got the last touch on that. And it came off Keane in the eyes of referee David Ellery. And Keane not slow to show his displeasure towards the North London schoolmaster. It will be a throw to be taken on that far side. And it'll be taken by Arsenal once more on that far touchline. Roy Keane furious. and had opportunity to vent his spleen against David Ellery 3 days ago, of course. Nigel Winterburn with the throw, drops short towards Dennis Bergkamp, right-footed ball, curled across the midfield, has to invite one of the centre-halves to run onto it. Here's Martin Keown, right-footed ball, tips over the top, and Nelka flagged offside. The advantage might have worked all right for United with Blomqvist having it in space on the left-hand side, but as it is, it will be a free kick which will be taken by Manchester United 10 yards outside the penalty area. Live on Century 105 with your local Northwest Ford dealer. Best part of 13 minutes gone. Arsenal 0, Manchester United 0 in the do-or-die cup replay.
Yeah, and Teddy Sheringham, I've just been watching him closely since the start of the game. Has not drifted too far, too deep. And they're obviously very aware that on Sunday, Arsenal won a lot of ball in the air. And actually tonight he's won quite his fair share of them, of the balls in the air. And there's so much possession and we're putting so many crosses in, but they just couldn't manage to actually convert those chances. And they really didn't have enough aerial power on Sunday. And he's done quite well. But as I said before, prefer him to be right on the centre-back rather than dropping off deep into the midfield. You've got to do it sometimes just to break the game up and make it different, give the centre-halves a different problem. But I think tonight he's got to really stay up there and join up the midfield and also get in the box and help Solskjaer, because they do need two men in there, because they've got two very, very tough centre-halves to play against.
Free kick goes United's way. Lovely little touch by David Beckham with the instep on the turn. Flick the ball forward for Solskjaer, who turned Tony Adams neatly. But unfortunately, he was brought straight to ground, and United have done nothing from the free kick at all except for surrender possession. Nicholas Anelka has it midway inside the United half. Chip ball over the top. Parler have made a run in space behind Phil Neville. The ball goes out of play. Played by Dennis Bergkamp off Solskjaer on this near touchline for a throw, which will be taken on this near side and be taken by Lee Dixon. Dropped short into the feet of Ray Parler. Nicky Butt on this near side's giving it away. Not helped by a stumble from Blomqvist, and then Bergkamp tried to curl it inside the penalty area and was complaining that Nicky Butt got a touch on his way through or fouled him. It will be a goal kick which will be taken by Schmeichel away to the right-hand side. And he's not ill-tempered as far as the challenges are concerned, Frank, but there's plenty of dissent from the players out on the pitch at the moment.
Yeah, a little bit of frustration. But United, well, to have a lot of possession, aren't really dominant, and it's kind of end-to-end. It's very, very like Sunday, and it's going to take, when the chance comes, whoever gets it is to actually take that chance, because there isn't going to be too many tonight.
4 wins in 6 games for Arsenal against Manchester United. United coming into this match on their worst run for a while. Unbeaten in 22 they may be. They've only won 1 of their last 5 games coming into tonight, with draws against Wimbledon, Juventus, Inter Milan, and of course Sunday's match with Arsenal. Vieira was caught late in the midfield there by Solskjaer, who has a token gesture of an apology towards him. In fact, it was Blomqvist that put his foot in, and then the first yellow card of the game will go to Teddy Sheringham for dissent, and it'll be a free kick which will be taken by Arsenal inside his own half, and Sheringham in fact has got away with it. Referee David Ellery went across and lectured him, but I don't think the yellow card was actually produced. It will be a free kick which will be taken by Martin Keown. 15 yards inside his own half, and it's still 0-0.
Yeah, it's still 0-0, and there are the individual battles again we talked about on Sunday, and it's more of the same, isn't it? You just feel that whoever wins the individual battle, and if United have more of those individual battles won, they'll win the match.
Good ball towards Sheringham in the centre after a good run by Blomqvist down the left-hand side. He got past Dixon, but it'll be brought away by Petit through the midfield. Bergkamp lays it off for Vieira. Vieira with a long-ranging strike and motor forward down towards this near touchline. Danger for United as Ray Parler picks it up. Corner of the penalty area, driven in off Phil Neville. And United will buy that. Goes out of play for a throw, which will be taken by Arsenal 5 yards from the corner flag on this near side. Away to our right-hand side. Parler will leave for Lee Dixon.
Well, that was dangerous, wasn't it? Dangerous break, and that just shows you what Arsenal do. They, when they win the ball, everybody breaks to get up there, and they have so much pace in the front positions with Anelka and Dennis Bergkamp. You just feel that once the midfield players get ahead, once they get ahead of their opposition, they are very dangerous, and the runners start to go.
Ball played forward by Schmeichel very quickly. Keown's header just dropped it short for David Beckham. Beckham into the path of Sheringham. Sheringham back to the direction of play. Lays it short for Beckham. What a screaming goal! David Beckham breaks the deadlock after 136 minutes of this FA Cup semi-final. Long punt forward from Schmeichel. Keown knocked it short. Sheringham picked it up. Right through the midfield. Laid it off for Beckham. Right footed bender past David Seaman into the bottom left-hand corner. The first goal conceded by Arsenal. Arsenal in 11 and a half hours of play. Arsenal 0, Manchester United 1, and the treble dream is still alive.
Well, what a fantastic goal from David Beckham. He picked the ball up initially from the header, knocked down by Keown, knocked it into Teddy Sheringham. Sheringham knocked it back to him, and as it came to him, he hit it with the inside of his foot to the far right-hand corner, and David Seaman, full length, couldn't get to him. What a fantastic goal.
Schmeichel had tried that earlier in the game. I don't know whether that's something that they spotted on Sunday, looking back at the video as they do, of course, very meticulous, the United staff. The fact that perhaps Arsenal is slow to come back and reform in midfield. Schmeichel picked it up, and as soon as he picked it up, he booted it forward very, very quickly, and there was a lot of space in the midfield, and even though Keown won the initial header, it was always going to fall into space, and it fell to a white shirt, and from there came the goal, Frank.
Well, I think that is a very good point, because I think what Alex Ferguson saw on Sunday is that they created a lot of things, but the Arsenal defence was in place, and we talked about that a lot, didn't they? About them being actually in their positions very, very quickly, and was to try and catch them out of position and then do something about it.
Brought ball on this near touchline on the left-hand side, played forward by Phil Neville. David Beckham in the 200th game of his career, his first goal in 3 matches, his 39th for United, and the 41st goal of his career in exactly 200 games. And he marks the milestone with a massive, massive goal for Manchester United. 1-0 United leading Arsenal. And this with the side that many people looking at the team sheet raise their eyebrows. The fact that Cole and York and Ryan Giggs not there. Blomqvist, Sheringham and Solskjaer in their places, and Teddy Sheringham in the side, the man to set up the goal for David Beckham. Vieira plays it forward towards the edge of the penalty area for Bergkamp, knocked away by Stam, and United can break again down the left-hand side, and motoring forward it's Blomqvist. Jesper Blomqvist towards the edge of the penalty area, appeals for offside against Solskjaer. Blomqvist will get a second opportunity, and United are rampant. Are the Arsenal heads down? Vieira though does well, brings it away towards the halfway line for Dennis Bergkamp. Bergkamp down towards Vieira. Vieira's ball forward. Parler on the overlap. Danger again. Anelka sprinting forward, and Parler knew he had to get the ball in early, and he did that. The only problem is he got it into the Holt end early.
He did, and that may be an indication of Arsenal's frailness in terms of confidence. But at the moment, it's United who are on top. They started the brighter. Didn't create too many chances, but had a lot of the possession. And they've been rewarded with that fantastic goal. That's a goal that can win any game. You know, you'd be proud for it to win any cup final. What a strike from David Beckham.
We said before the game that it was whoever was going to take their half chances, because we've seen this Arsenal defence. David Seaman's only let in 3 goals in his last 11 matches before today, and it was just that ability to take a half chance when it came, and Beckham has done it.
Well, I tell you what, David Seaman is some goalkeeper. You know, I think I rate him the best English goalkeeper, and that's why he's number one for his country. But I think that it takes some shot from that distance to beat him, and that was some shot.
Beckham out towards the right-hand side. He just can't quite put in such a decent touch on this occasion. Vieira will bring it forward down towards this near touch line. It'll be sliding in the chance. Keane that gets it away. He's got a good scoring record here at Villa Park as well, David Beckham. That's another one to add to his collection. Got the a goal here for United in the league last season against Aston Villa. Down towards this near side. That was a good goal as well. Dixon lays the ball short towards Keown. Keown's right-footed ball swung forward over the top, chased by Dennis Bergkamp. Stam is in there against his compatriot. Bergkamp can just drop off towards this near touch line to come away with the ball, and he turns inside, shown inside by Yapstam. Still Bergkamp goes, great save, Schmeichel chipping it away to his right-hand side, and Gary Neville can complete the clearance. It goes down the play inside Arsenal's own half for a gunner's throw.
Yeah, and that's a warning to United. What a great run by Dennis Bergkamp on this right-hand side. Turned on Yapstam, ran at him, and as the runners took the players away, we actually got that half yard, knocked the ball to the outside of his left foot along the floor, and a great one-handed save by Peter Schmeichel to knock it out, and Gary Neville was there to do the cleaning up.
Arsenal 0, Manchester United 1, live on Century 105 with your local Northwest Ford dealer. Elsewhere around the country in the Premiership, it's Middlesbrough 0, Chelsea 0, Manchester City leading Luton by 2 goals to 0. We'll keep you updated on the other games as well, particularly that one at the bottom, Stoke against Wickham at Britannia Park, which is of great importance to Burnley, Oldham and Macclesfield fans. Millwall playing Colchester as well in the second tonight, and then the third, Bolton Club Scarborough can get off the bottom if they beat Darlington. That game approaching half-time. Here it's Arsenal 0, Manchester United 1. David Beckham on 17 minutes with his 7th goal of the season. Ball played by Sheringham down towards his near side for Blomqvist. Jesper Blomqvist through the legs of one of the Arsenal covering midfielders. Blomqvist again plays it inside the box. Keown can only play it back out towards him. Blomqvist to Nicky Butt. Butt tries a little give and go. Nicky Butt shot took and deflects it inside the penalty area off Martin Keown, and now to play for United's fourth corner, and it's one-way traffic at the moment.
It is indeed, and United are playing some wonderful stuff there, particularly this left-hand side. Blomqvist is playing probably the best I've seen him for a while against Dixon. Dixon just can't cope with him. He looks a little bit tired after Sunday, and they look like they're getting in on that side more than any side.
Beckham, long corner, deep towards the far post, headed away, bouncing through the midfield, going up for it. Arsenal can bring it away with Bergkamp, who's got past the challenge from Nicky Butt, who has such a magnificent game on Sunday. Bergkamp out towards the left-hand side for Lundberg. Lundberg, who's been a passenger so far, waiting for players to push forward. High ball tipped over the top by Winterburn, looking for Lundberg, who made a run into a central position, and Phil Neville can shepherd the ball back towards Peter Schmeichel. The United fans euphoric. It's Arsenal 0, Manchester United 1. A quarter of the way through the first half of this game, and from what we saw on Sunday, with neither side really being able to force too many chances, that goal by Beckham could be enough. Schmeichel gets the ball forward, headed away through the midfield by Adams to Keane towards Gary Neville, right-footed ball forward. Sheringham, lovely little layup down towards his left-hand side for Jesper Blomqvist. Blomqvist running towards the corner of the penalty area, running at Lee Dixon. Gets towards the byline, low left-footed ball back across. And a left-footed shot inside the penalty area, goes just wide from Sheringham. Wonderful play by Blomqvist again, cutting inside Dixon, laid the ball back, and Sheringham on the turn, 10 yards from goal, hit it, well, very, very narrowly wide, about a foot or so wide of David Seaman's goal as it came back up the stanchion.
Well, we've seen a big improvement in the performance already from United, and Teddy Sheringham is playing excellent. Blomqvist again is the one on this, down this left-hand side. He seems to have been told just every chance you get forward and run at Dixon and see if you can get past him and create something and pull the ball back. On that occasion, he pulled it back. Teddy Sheringham, the ball was just behind him, but we've seen him on many occasions swivel around and get the ball in on target from those positions, and so far he's done very, very well, and he's joined the play up excellent, and he stayed in that forward position as we'd hoped he would.
Free kick will be taken on this near touch line by Manchester United after a little bit of ankle tapping on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, who takes his place in the penalty area, and Beckham will swing this one in. And while United are enjoying such a purple patch, can they double their lead? Beckham, the man who got the goal, right-footed ball, chipped in towards the near post, breaking it back across the goal, and again it was Sheringham making the run at the near post. A little glance to the forehead took it completely over the Arsenal centre halves, and none of the United players rushing in at the far post could quite get a touch to flick it past Seaman.
Well, if that had been on target, I don't think David Seaman would have got it either. It was a great ball in, a good run by Teddy Sheringham again. And again, it's all one-way traffic, isn't it? United just past that far post. Little flick header. And I think David Seaman was waiting for the ball to come through and go to the far post, and he would have been well cut out that time.
Ball headed forward again into the Arsenal half, where players been concentrated in the last 5 minutes or so, and a great challenge comes in on this near touch line by Sheringham. The ball's out of play. It will be a throw, which will be taken by Arsenal on this near touch line. Sheringham looked very accusingly at David Ellery when the whistle blew, thinking that he'd been penalised for that challenge on Martin Keown, but play will continue. Ball down on this near touchline, headed away by United once more. Phil Neville to Blomqvist, to Nicky Butt, right-footed ball, curled forward. Solskjaer chasing towards the edge of the penalty area. Only got a Solskjaer right-footed shot towards goal, but always being forced wide towards a tight angle. He was unlikely to beat Seaman from there, and he could watch it well wide. And the United fans in the north stand away to our left-hand side on the lower tier, just looking for the corner, not given. It will be a goal kick which will be taken by David Seaman away to our left-hand side. 26 minutes gone, Arsenal 0, Manchester United 1. City leading Luton by 2-0. Still in the Premiership, Middlesbrough 0, Chelsea 0. If Chelsea win that tonight, of course, they go top above both United and Arsenal. Could be one of those nights for Arsenal tonight. Seaman gets it clear, right-footed, over the halfway line. Vieira goes up for it with Butt, flicks it on, and Nelka will be able to bring the ball down. Whacked away, though, at the back by United once more with Ronnie Johnsen. Out towards the right-hand side. Still the ball very much up in the air. Winterburn. Lundberg flicks it on. Brought forward over the top by Anelka, who was caught late. And that will be the game's first yellow card. And Jaap Stam, the big Dutchman, the player that will be called over to David Ellery, just for bringing Nicolas Anelka down. 27 minutes gone. 1-0 to United.
Yeah, a little bit late by Stam. He was never going to get it, but he had to make the challenge. Otherwise, Anelka would have been able to pick his foot out. He did put him under pressure quickly, but his trailing, as his foot came forward, just caught him.
Free kick to be taken by Arsenal midway inside the United half. Driven over the top. The Vieira's header. Schmeichel brings it down. It bounced once in front of him, and Schmeichel could just pluck the ball down before it looped over his head, and again he's booted it forward really quickly, Peter Schmeichel, and it hasn't quite worked as effectively this time, but again United getting bodies inside the Arsenal half as quickly as they could, almost on a sort of route one counter-attack. Phil Neville's ball forward, headed down by Arsenal on this near touchline. Parler goes in for it with Nicky Butt, and Parler comes away with the ball. It ricocheted into his path, and Johnson brought down by a frustrated Dennis Bergkamp, and United have a free kick, but again looking for that same tactic.
Well, they are. That was very, very accurate by Peter Schmeichel. Now, straight away, the ball came up and was killed in an instant, and all of a sudden, United are attacking their final third of the field. Instead of slow build-up tonight, it just looks like they're trying to get the ball forward as quickly as possible and catch the Arsenal defence out of positions. And on Sunday, we didn't see that too much. It was always nice patient stuff, but sometimes you've got to change your tactics to suit the game, and that's what United have done.
Phil Neville's back pass made Peter Schmeichel come well outside his penalty area to get there before Anelka, and he got it clear left-footed, did Schmeichel, and didn't get a lot of air underneath it, and it almost scooted through to the Arsenal midfield. As it is, the ball's out of play, and it'll be a throw to be taken on this near side by Phil Neville from Manchester United, live on Century 105, the only station that next season you'll be able to hear every domestic Manchester United game. You won't be able to hear every game anywhere else in the northwest of England. Anelka brings the ball forward. Stam knocks it away down towards this near touchline. Phil Neville will take it down towards this left-hand touchline and fire it forward. Solskjaer is there. Came off very quickly. Fouled by Keown. Play will continue. Keown caught out of position, waiting for the free kick to be given. Teddy Sheringham on the break for United inside the centre circle. Lundberg's put his foot in to stop the momentum of the United attack. And when Beckham tries to turn it forward at the right-hand side, his ball goes out of play, but the yellow card is shown to Martin Keown. Good refereeing by David Ellery. Let the initial incident go. Keown, when the ball does go out of play, gets the yellow card for the foul on Solskjaer.
Tackle from behind, Jim, it was. The ball was played up. Solskjaer got to the ball first, and Keown followed through. Solskjaer got the ball, but he took his legs from behind, and he continued to play. And as you say, it was very good refereeing by David Ellery. So the two centre-halves are going to have to watch themselves.
Stam getting the game's first booking, and Keown getting the second. It'll be played for by Martin Keown, former Evertonian, of course, down towards this near touchline. Dennis Bergkamp trying to turn inside Stam, and Stam just pulled the shirt and stopped him getting any further towards the edge of the penalty area, 6 or 7 yards short of the edge of the box, and it'll be a free kick which Arsenal will take in a dangerous position on the right-hand side with Petit surely going to bend one in for the big guns. Adams pushes forward, Keown pushes forward as well. If United can get a quick break on here, they've got a chance, although in all fairness they've bloody every white shirt back behind the ball. They haven't even left Solskjaer up as Andy Cole would if he was on the pitch. Petit will play it in, left-footed, chip towards the back post. Schmeichel comes out and just adjusts the trajectory of his run and then makes a comfortable catch, and Beckham sprints forward up the right-hand side in case Schmeichel's going to release a quick one, but mindful of the fact that Solskjaer and everyone else have dropped back, he just keeps the ball in his hands as long as he thinks he can get away with before bowling it out towards that right-hand side and be played forward once more by United. They brought this new rule in at the beginning of the season, didn't they, that Anelka just caught offside, the ball played forward by Ray Parler. A close decision, but my initial reaction was that it was a correct decision as Parler picked it up in the midfield and just threaded it forward. And Nicholas Anelka, sure enough, on the TV replay, it was close, but he was a couple of feet, a yard or so offside. Be a free kick which will be taken by United's Peter Schmeichel midway inside his own half. They brought that new rule in the start of the season that goalkeepers can only keep their hands on the ball for 4 or 5 seconds. Well, that law lasted a long time, didn't it? Because certainly no referee really pays much credence to it or heed to it. I can't remember the last time I saw a goalkeeper punished for it. High ball played over the top this time by United, and the offside flag's up again. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, the player, too far forward. Free kick to Arsenal outside their own penalty area, 31 gone. Live on Century 105 with your local Northwest Ford dealer. Arsenal 0, Manchester United 1.
Well, it's a really good game, and there's good pace to the game. And Arsenal started to push forward now. They started to close down United quickly, try and win the ball in their own half. And they'll have to take back for a couple of minutes. But it makes an intriguing game, and he looks well up for it. Dennis Bergkamp tonight, very, very aggressive. We didn't see that sort of aggression on Sunday. But now Arsenal have gone a goal down. They really have to push on. They have to get back in this game.
Started his Arsenal career very slowly, perhaps feeling the weight of the big price tag on his head when he came to England. But this is 150th Arsenal game after spells at Ajax and Inter Milan, of course. Scored 4 in his last 6 coming into this one. Ball played forward over the top, looking for Parler in those 150 games. Dennis Bergkamp scored 64 goals. When you consider, I don't think he scored in his first 11 or 12 for Arsenal, something like that, until he scored a double against Southampton. He's been fairly prolific. He's had the likes of Anelka alongside him and Ian Wright alongside him as well, and still to have got a goal every other game or there or thereabouts. A good record for Bergkamp. Schmeichel will take a goal kick away to our right-hand side. 13 minutes to go to half-time. Arsenal 0, Manchester United 1. Ball dropped short. Schmeichel will swing it forward. 5 yards from his goal line. He laid it a yard behind the edge of the 6-yard box and getting it clear. And again, he didn't get much air on it. Low trajectory clearance by Schmeichel. Got away with it, though. Petit out towards that far touchline. Left-footed ball chipped over the top. Bergkamp will bring it down with his chest. Facing the halfway line. He tries to turn and get inside David Beckham, who did well and covered well. Ball played over the top. Petit's acrobatic missed-kick clearance almost broke United's way, but then Arsenal can bring it forward. Petit sprinting forward. Bergkamp caught from behind. And that'll be the game's third yellow card on that far touchline. There's a late challenge coming in from Roy Keane, getting the yellow card for the foul on Dennis Bergkamp, and he trots disconsolately away towards the edge of the penalty area, and Keane, sure enough, just taking Bergkamp's legs from under it.
Yeah, it looked a bit nastier on the when we seen it on the monitor there, Jim. He just slid in. He was never going to get the ball, and it was always going to end up as a yellow card. And he's got to watch himself. So there are 3 bookings in the last 10 minutes. It's got to be players going to have to watch himself. But it is a semi-final, and you expect this competitiveness. And with United with their noses in front, they've got to keep, strong in mind and strong in body, because Arsenal are putting pressure on now.
This is Arsenal's best period of the game so far, and it comes 10 minutes before the break. Left-footed ball swung in by Winterburn, headed away by Sheringham. Right-footed shot from Lundberg, cannoned away off Ronnie Johnson. Will be brought forward by United once more, and again they're looking to break very quickly. Solskjaer just inside his own half, wouldn't have been offside. Blomqvist felt he was brought down. Sheringham plays out towards the right-hand side. Beckham couldn't adjust his run quick enough to pick it up, and Winterburn will bring it forward for Arsenal down that far touch on the Arsenal left into the feet of Parler. Back to Winterburn once more. Vieira back towards Adams, and Adams will knock the ball square to Martin Keown forward down towards this near side, and he will find Vieira. Vieira finds Lundberg. Lundberg towards Parler. Stam will cut out the return ball before he got to the Swede, and it's played forward by Blomqvist down the left-hand side. Another Swede trying to bring it into play, and then Dixon was caught late on this near touchline by Solskjaer. Solskjaer lying on the ground having been brought down, and then Dixon almost ran into his studs, and Solskjaer just in trying to get up caught Dixon nastily. Dixon straight back on his feet. Seaman brings it forward, right-footed from inside his own penalty area. Stam heads it back into the Arsenal half. Dixon, ball headed down for Keane, brought down. Referee tells him to get up. Petit will bring it forward. Here's Lundberg. Lundberg down towards this near side, caught by David Beckham, and here's the 4th yellow card. Beckham, the recipient of this one, bringing Lundberg down in the central position, 15 yards outside the penalty area, and another free kick for Arsenal in a pretty central position this time.
Yeah, what's happened is that most of the yellow cards now are because the United midfield are getting caught on the wrong side of the ball, and they're having to chase back and make lunges to try and win it. They've really got to make sure they stay with the runners, because what's happening, once the Arsenal players get ahead of them, there's nothing they can do but foul them to stop them from going.
Petit with the free kick, and he whacked it from distance, and it hit the one-man wall, which was Jesper Blomqvist, and there was a 3-man wall behind that, and cleared by United straight out for a throw to be taken on this near touch line. And the Arsenal wingers have swapped sides to try and get some more joy. Phil Neville's had a good game at the start of this game, Frank, both in an attacking context and a defensive context.
Well, he has, and we've not seen much of Parler, and he's obviously sent Parler over to the other side for a while to try and see if he could have a run at his brother, but it hasn't worked because he's back over on this side again. But wouldn't surprise me, we see that a few times through the game.
All through the midfield once more. Arsenal picking up with Anelka, wearing a short sleeve shirt but wearing gloves, which seems to be a bit of an anomaly. Down towards Anelka again, near touchline. Parler, level the edge of the penalty area, tried to dig the ball out from under his feet and play it back into the run of Anelka towards the edge of the box, but it was cleared by Neville again. Phil Neville it was, but down towards this near touchline. It'll be swung forward. Gary Neville, I've hardly mentioned his name, which means that he's done a good job on Lundberg so far. Sheringham will pick it up and brings it inside Petit. Teddy Sheringham, the old master, producing a very, very decent performance tonight so far. Setting up the goal and having a couple of decent efforts himself. Beckham's goal separates the sides. A wonderful goal after 17 minutes. Arsenal 0, Manchester United 1. But this is Arsenal's best period of the game, as we've been saying. Bergkamp threads it through towards Anelka. Anelka sees the ball come towards him off Ronnie Johnson, edge of the penalty area. Nicholas Anelka onto his right foot. Shot took a deflection. Parler flagged offside on this near side as the loose ball broke through him, and it's a free kick to United.
Yeah, it was a difficult decision there, but the referee's assistant got his flag up straight away. I suppose if the ball had gone through to the goalkeeper, he would have just let it play on. But in that instance, he had to do it because he got an advantage from being in an offside position. So we've got it right on that occasion.
Elsewhere around the country, Middlesbrough 0, Chelsea 0 at the Riverside Stadium in the second. Manchester City 2, Luton Town 0. City 5 wins in 6, Luton 5 wins in 27. Peter Schmeichel will clear the ball from the edge of his own penalty area. Right foot, it was Paul Dickoff and Tony Vaughan that got those City goals. City fans, if you just joined us, your boys going up to third tonight, so it seems, in the second division. Down towards this near side, Parler. Oh, that's a... Well, it looks as though Parler had wrestled Keane to the ground or handled the ball or both, but play allowed to continue with United bringing it forward, sharing into the feet of Solskjaer, who tried to turn Keown. Keown brings it back inside his own penalty area. Seaman from the edge of the 6-yard box, whacks it clear right-footed. Gary Neville forward through the midfield, but sliding in. Petit was in there very tigerishly as well and got it away. Bergkamp heads it down towards the left-hand side, and Arsenal can bring it forward with Lundberg. Lundberg with Anelka ahead of it, just steps the pace up a gear to try and get past Stam. United again can stand firm in the back. Keane to Phil Neville. Phil Neville's long left-footed ball forward. Bounces inside the centre circle ahead of Solskjaer. Brought away by Tony Adams. Vieira sliding in the midfield. Could do no more than poke it forward for Keane. Keane towards Blomqvist. Blomqvist trying to push the ball forward, but ran into a brick wall of French midfielders. And Vieira can bring it away after Petit's interception. And Vieira's pace gets it past Stam. Ran outside of the penalty area. Just overran it though. And it slid in and went out of play. The goal kick which could take much money on the right-hand side, but again the danger of the pace, the runs coming from deep from this Arsenal midfield, and whenever they can do that, with the pace that Anelka, Vieira and Bergkamp were all blessed with, it does cause problems with Jonsson, and particularly for Stam, who's already on a yellow card.
Well, it does, and it's down to the midfield to do the job, to track back in. And it's Arsenal who are on top for this short period of the game. They really, the midfield have got to get reinforced and get in there and do the job and just hold off the runs of the Arsenal midfield, and that'll be the key to it. But they have to get back goal side of the ball first, because they're getting ahead of them too often.
Adams out towards the left-hand side. We play forward again towards Tony Adams, and then down towards this near touch on the Arsenal right for Lee Dixon. Back to Martin Keown, and Keown will turn it under pressure from Solskjaer to Seaman. Seaman inside his own penalty area, brings it towards the edge of the box and prepares to knock it forward right-footed from the edge of the penalty area. Plenty of air underneath this one, over the head of Parler, headed by Phil Neville, back through the midfield. Vieira will help it on, looking for his compatriot Nicholas Anelka, hooked away by Stam. Down towards his near side, Dixon will pick it up for Arsenal at the back. He knocks it square towards Keown. Keown, 6 yards inside the Arsenal half, plays it forward into space that he was expecting Anelka to attack. It almost broke for Bergkamp, but was cleared by Ronnie Jonsson down towards this near touchline, and Keown will let the ball run out of play. The throw, which he himself takes, and lays back to David Seaman away to our left-hand side. 40 minutes gone, Arsenal 0, Manchester United 1. Seaman outside his own penalty area, looking for options. He's got Winterburn and a lot of space on the left-hand side, but didn't fancy that. Whipped it forward right-footed, a measured chip headed on by Bergkamp, looking for Anelka. There's a red balloon burst forward in the penalty area, and bursting forward is Petit! Good save, Peter Schmeichel, who stood up at the near post again and got everything behind it. And Petit shot off Schmeichel, went through and out of play for a corner. Arsenal's first of the game.
Well, as you spoke before, it's the midfield again getting in too easy. They've got to track them in back. On that occasion, it was Petit, and his touch was just knocked off by Stam. And a great save by Schmeichel at the near post.
And it's not the best of corners. Petit's corner headed away at that near post. Dixon will be able to bring it forward. Petit left-footed ball back over the top. Foul on this near touchline on Dixon. Free kick will be taken by Arsenal again. 5 yards from the right-hand touchline and a little bit further than that outside the penalty area. On the right-hand side, the ball spotted down by Petit. Parler is there, edge of the penalty area. And Anelka there as well. Left-footed in, swinging ball. Almost headed in towards goal by Vieira. Headed clear by Keane, back out towards Petit. Chip ball over the top once more. Tighter angle this time. Brought down, could break for Anelka. Sheringham had to get it clear and did well in his penalty spot. First of all to chest it down, then whack it clear right footed with a volley. Beckham can't get on the end of Winterburn. Stab forward over the top. Here's Anelka cutting inside the penalty area. Still Nicholas Anelka goes!
No.
And it goes wide. The Arsenal fans thought that it had just crept inside Peter Schmeichel's near post, but it hadn't. It hit the hoardings, and the net movement was the ball smacking back up the back of the hoardings, and it remains 1-0 to United.
Well, that was a great bit of skill by Anelka. He moved the ball between his feet on the edge of the box. I couldn't make the tackle. It was fuzzies all over him. He went past, and Peter Schmeichel was out in an instant, and he made his mind up. He forced him to play the shot earlier than he wanted to. And again, that's a let-off for United. They really are under the cosh at the moment.
on that right-hand side. It's played forward by Manchester United, down towards this near touchline. But just playing the ball into the feet of Jesper Blomqvist. Coming towards the edge of the penalty area. The sliding challenge comes in from Parler. Brought down towards Phil Neville. Will take it down towards the corner flag. Challenged by Dixon. Phil Neville is unlucky that the ball took a last touch off him and it goes out of play for a goal kick. The United fans are away to the left-hand side. Furious at the decision, it quite clearly came off Phil Neville last. There will be a goal kick which will be taken by Seaman. And the atmosphere here at Villa Park, it might not be a capacity 39,000 crowd tonight, but certainly the atmosphere, every little bit as intense as it was on Sunday, livened by that goal on 17 minutes from David Beckham. Arsenal 0, Manchester United 1, and if United can hold Arsenal for the next 48 minutes, then they're at Wembley, having got there 3 years ago the last time, when they lifted the double, beating Liverpool 1-0, that late Eric Cantona goal. Cantona lifting the trophy. 3 years on, United hoping to get back there and play Newcastle in the final, who've won it 6 times, but haven't won it since 1955. Bergkamp through the midfield, finds Petit. Petit to his left-hand side, Lundberg to his right, and Nelke cut out by Jonsson. Jonsson just stabs it forward for Keane. Close control, passing movement from the United midfield, but eventually knocks it back towards Peter Schmeichel. The sharpening takes a breath from all the United fans, but Schmeichel get it cleared out towards Solskjaer on this near side, and motoring forward was Keane, who couldn't even think about the challenge on Lee Dixon on this near touchline, because the second yellow card will see Keane off, and it would be played forward by Arsenal. Dixon had turned it back to Seaman, a long ball forward finds its way through to Schmeichel away to our right-hand side. We've got 90 seconds plus a limited amount of injury time to go at the end of this first half, and so far so good, Frank. 1-0 to United.
Yeah, I'm just looking at there what United can do just to flow, to stem the tide here of Arsenal, because they really have come back strong after the goal. They really got them into action, and I also noticed that Petit has had much bigger influence since the goal. Before that, he wasn't really in the game, and all of a sudden, since he's got hold of the ball, he's made runs forward. Him and Vieira have started to dominate that middle of the park.
Parler to Dixon. Dixon brings it forward, finds Ray Parler. Ray Parler pushing forward towards the edge of the penalty area. Right-footed ball in. Phil Neville will stop it. The ball came off his heels, and then he had the time and the presence of mind to track back 5 yards, get on the end of it, stop it going out of play for a corner and whack it upfield. Ball now goes out of play for an Arsenal throw 5 yards inside the United half, and Arsenal have had the better of the play in the last 15 minutes, Frank, and they're making a more concerted effort and making more or better inroads and better possession, breaking down this United defence.
Well, yeah, I think the fact is that the midfield have made all the difference to them. They've suddenly gone on top.
But United can break forward. 2 minutes of injury time will be played. Beckham has it, right-footed. Good ball towards Solskjaer. Steps up his man into the penalty area and hits a right-footed shot towards goal, which ricochets off Tony Adams' backside, now to play for United's 5th corner of the first half.
Yeah, Teddy Sheringham made the run forward, took the 2 defenders away, and Solskjaer came short and had the ball. That's good running between the 2 front players. And once he got the ball, he had only one thing in his mind, and Tony Adams blocked the shot to go out for a corner. But this is a little bit of respite for United. You know, they have been under the cosh for quite a while.
Beckham will take the corner on that far touchline. In injury time at the end of this first half. Beckham, score of the game's only goal. Right-footed in-swinger. Stam's header. Headed back across face of goal by Solskjaer. Still hasn't gone out of play on the United left. Bergkamp tracking back. Just gets it clear down towards his near touchline. Phil Neville's on the end of it. Just flicks a little header down towards his near side. Parler picking it up. Not in space for Nelke. Lundberg and acres of space on the far side. And Nelke may not need to use him. He plays him in now. Now space for Parler. Good challenge comes in by Keane. And the momentum lost by Arsenal. Possession not lost though. Oh, it is now. Just rolls out of play for a throw on this near touch, which will be taken by United. Another very decent opportunity for Arsenal breaking forward.
It was, and Lundberg was a little bit negative when he got the ball there. He was looking to pass it. He went past his first man. He should have really had a shot, because he was almost on the D on the 18-yard box and really have a shot from there.
Throw on this near touch will be taken by United. A minute into injury time, about another 30 seconds of injury time or so to go, if we're to believe the timing of the introduction of the 2 board for when the injury time was going to start. It's 0-0 at the Riverside Stadium at half-time. Middlesbrough 0, Chelsea 0. A draw will suit both United and Arsenal fine. We could do the Middlesbrough win there, though. Sheringham, forward through the midfield, bringing it forward, Nicky Butt, beaten by Dixon. Vieira will, inside his own half, just turn and flick the ball past 3 challenges, one of them Keane. Butt slides in. Vieira try to bring the ball down again, lying on the ground. Keane will be able to win it back off Petit, and Keane pushes it forward out towards the right-hand touch on the far side from us. Lays it back towards Gary Neville. 5 yards inside his own half. Gary Neville turns it back towards David Beckham. laid short towards that right-hand side for Gary Neville again. Beckham's right-footed ball chipped over the top, looking for Sheringham. Half-time at Main Road, City 2-0 up against Luton. It's brought forward 5-back out towards that right-hand touchline. United to bring it forward. Right-footed ball chipped over the top, good one as well. Gary Neville motoring forward for the first time in the game, slides in, could bring the ball down, and it's out of play for nothing because the referee signals it's half-time. And what a good first half for Manchester United. At the break, Arsenal 0, Manchester United 1.
Century Sport with your local Northwest Ford dealer.
It was a very long, quick clearance from Peter Schmeichel, headed down by Martin Keown, but only into space. Space occupied by Teddy Sheringham, who laid it off for David Beckham, whose right-footed drive into the bottom left-hand corner lit up an FA Cup semi-final, which has been far from stagnant, but it hasn't had much in the way of goal-mouth action, and in the context of the game, one goal could make so much difference. That goal scored by David Beckham. Arsenal 0, United 1 at the break, Frank.
Yeah, but you got to say, Arsenal have really come back strong. They tried to get an equaliser, and United have had to pay the penalty of having a couple of players booked. And during that middle period of the first half, I just feel that Arsenal really got their game together, and United just hanging on at times. But as we just got towards the break, they started to get the ball down and play a little bit more. But I think we're in for a hell of a second half. I really enjoyed that first half. There was some quality football, competitiveness, and it's been played in a good spirit, but neither side wants to lose, and it's still not over yet.
Arsenal have had a couple of chances, major chances. Dennis Bergkamp cutting inside, saw his left-footed shot tipped away by Peter Schmeichel. Nicolas Anelka fired wide from a tight angle. 3 United players in the book. It's still finally poised. Stam, Keane and Beckham with the yellow cards, but Beckham with the goal, and it's Arsenal 0, Manchester United 1 at half-time. We're back with the first half highlights, details of Middlesbrough against Chelsea. More talking points for the first 45 minutes here at Villa Park. And of course the second half, and hopefully United's safe progress through to the FA Cup final, is live on Century 105. Don't go away.
Live from Villa Park, full match commentary on Manchester United versus Arsenal with your local Northwest Ford dealer.
With which former league club did Teddy Sheringham have a spell on loan with?
What's this? Spend a free weekend with Beckham, Giggs and Keane. I see them whoever days it is. It's not for you, Alex, it's for our fans. This weekend they can watch MUTV absolutely free from 6 p.m. to midnight, Friday to Sunday. We're playing Sheffield Wednesday at home on Saturday, That's right, and after the match, viewers can watch an exclusive interview with you. I'll do that, okay? The offer's available to Sky Digital and cable and wireless subscribers. Call 0870 848 6888 for more information and watch MUTV free for the weekend. Or I want to know why not.
Free preview weekend takes place from Friday 16th of April to Sunday 18th of April inclusive. Free offer does not apply to existing MUTV subscribers.
Great news! From the 28th of March, Manchester Airport is renaming its terminals to make travel as easy as 1, 2, 3. Now it's simply Terminal 1, Terminal 2, and Terminal 3. To find out more, contact your local travel agent. Manchester Airport, one of the world's best airports.
Things are quiet right now here in Mr. Jack Daniels' old office. But one morning in 1905, this place was anything but quiet. That morning, the old cast iron safe in the corner wouldn't cooperate with its owner. We thought he knew the combination well. Mr. Jack lost his temper and kicked that safe hard enough to break his big toe. Infection took a lot of folks in those days, and shortly thereafter, it took Jasper Newton Daniel. Faithful to Mr. Jack's old-time ways, we've never altered the whiskey that bears his name, nor, we'll admit, ever found a good reason to mess with that old safe. Some things never change. Jack Daniels is one of them.
And so now we go over to Ron, live at the scene. Ron, a lot of talent on display. Yes, indeed, Bobby. We've been entertained, exhilarated, seen style and panache.
If you're ready, we can go for the test drive.
Marvellous.
Get down to your Northwest Ford dealer, take a test drive and find the perfect match.
The former league club that Teddy Sheringham played a few games for many years ago now, it was Aldershot whilst he was at Millwall.
Live from Villa Park, full match commentary on Manchester United versus Arsenal.
Arsenal 0, Manchester United 1, the half-time score. The United fans delighted with the first half performance. Let's be honest about it. We saw the team, which included Sheringham, Solskjaer and Blomqvist, and didn't include Giggs, Cole and York. There were plenty of eyebrows raised. Let's analyse the first half contribution, Frank, of each of those three introductees into the side tonight, starting with Teddy Sheringham, the one that many people thought after only 6 starts this season was possibly a mistake by Fergie.
Well, I think you were one of them, Jim.
Yeah, I'll hold my hands up.
You say that, but I think that he's proven that he's still got something to offer. I think he's played very well. His touch has been good. He's competed well in the air, and he's held the ball up when necessary. Him and Solskjaer have played quite well together. But I think he has been a difference for United tonight because he's physically quite strong, and he's won his fair share of balls in the air, and they haven't had it all their own way, have they, the defenders of Arsenal tonight? So there's always a challenge in there, and there's always the possibility that he's going to win things in the air. And he nearly got on the score sheet with that flick header from the free kick by David Beckham. But Blomqvist has done well on the left-hand side. I feel like there's the actual answer to things tonight. I think he can, if he gets at Lee Dixon, he can take him. And Dixon isn't sure whether he goes inside or outside. And now I'd just like to see him, if United can isolate Dixon and him a bit more, I think they will create more and possibly get another goal. But, Solskjaer's done quite well. I'd like to see him put himself about a bit more. He joins the play up very well, but I don't think he's as aggressive as you would want him to be. And when you're playing against somebody like Keown and Tony Adams, you really have to be aggressive because otherwise they'll dominate you like we saw on Sunday with the other two forwards. But, good first half, but Arsenal have come back very, very strong. They're not lying down, they're not saying, right, we're a goal down. Their heads haven't gone down, and it's brought a response from them, and United have really had to defend deep, and they've had to do a lot of things, and a lot of things just to keep ahead. So the game isn't over, in my opinion. They'll come out to the second half, Arsenal, and they'll throw everything at United. And maybe that is the period where United might just catch him just falling asleep for a second, or maybe that goal is just enough to win the game.
Well, that's a worry for me, the fact that Arsenal have enjoyed a very decent last 15 minutes. They haven't created that much, 2 efforts, and Nelka shooting wide, the one that the Arsenal fans thought had gone in, and Bergkamp seeing an effort tipped away by Peter Schmeichel. Relatively routine for the United defence, but the fact that Stam, Keane and Beckham have got yellow cards is going to give Arsenal that little bit more licence to attack them and try and suck the United players into impetuous challenges.
Yeah, I think that I think the manager will have to tie down either Nicky Butts or Roy Keane to sit there, and more than likely be Roy Keane, not to sit deep, but to make sure that he picks up any runners coming through, because they are losing the midfield battle at the moment, and that's the difference that can turn this game to Arsenal's way, or United just to hold on to their lead. But I think that Petit came more into the game after the first 15-20 minutes. He started to get hold of the ball, play the ball, and combine very, very well with Vieira, and was also able to get up into forward positions, which would cause real problems to United. As I say, I'm looking forward to a second half where Arsenal know they must score to stay in this competition.
Arsenal 0, Manchester United won the half-time score. It's goalless in the Premiership at the Riverside Stadium. Middlesbrough taking on Chelsea. A victory for Chelsea puts them top of the Premiership. Gordon Cox is on Teesside.
Middlesbrough 0, Chelsea 0. You wouldn't think that Chelsea would go top of the table if they were going to win this evening, such as the effort they've managed to put into this one. Granted, they've been pegged back by a very lively Middlesbrough side. Much the better efforts coming from the home team. 2 from Hamilton. Rickard bringing good saves out of Ed De Hoy. Chelsea only in the last 5 or 10 minutes have looked lively up front and looked like a side who may go to the top, or may want to go to the top. There's no doubt they will if they win, but they've got to have shots on target, and they've only had one. That came in the first minute of injury time in the first half. Low drive from Gustavo Poyet from 25 yards, and Mark Schwarzer, hitherto untroubled. Low, easy save, no problems. It's been pretty much that way for Middlesbrough in the opening 45 minutes, but no goals at the Riverside. Middlesbrough 0, Chelsea 0.
The other half-time scores in England tonight in the second division: Manchester City 2, Luton 0, Paul Dickoff and Tony Vaughan. Millwall 2, Colchester United 0, Stoke City 1, Wickham 1, and in the third division, bottom club Scarborough 0, Darlington 1. The first half stats, play concentrated in the midfield third of the pitch, Frank, as you'd expect. 49% of it there, 24% in the half that United were defending, and 27% of it in the half that United were attacking, and that's due to that first 15-20 minutes when it was relentless pressure from right to left as we look at it.
Well, that's right, but it doesn't surprise me that it's 49% of the play is in the middle of the park, because that's where the real battle is. We kind of spoke about that before the game, and you know, the reason that United are ahead and they took the chance was because they were dominating during the period of the first 15 to 20 minutes. They were dominating in the middle of the park. After that, Petit and Vieira took over, and that's why United have been on the back foot since. So that is the key to the game. That midfield battle between both Vieira, Keane and Petit. And I'd like to see how it's going to go. Hopefully United will start as well as they did in the first half and add to their score. But I just think it's going to be tight all the way, right to the 90th minute, and something's going to happen in the game that's going to either turn it one way or get Arsenal back in this match.
Whatever happens, it's going to be a very, very tense final 45 minutes. I say final 45 minutes. We could have extra time and penalties, of course, all on the agenda tonight. But at the moment, so far so good. David Beckham's 7th goal of the season separates Arsenal and Manchester United, the two big clubs in English football at the end of the millennium, and the whole of the second half is live on Century 105 next.
Live from Villa Park, the second half, with your local Northwest Ford dealer.
With which club did Martin Keown begin his career?
What's this? Spend a free weekend with Beckham, Giggs and Keane. I see them whoever days it is. It's not for you, Alex, it's for our fans. This weekend they can watch MUTV absolutely free from 6 p.m. to midnight, Friday to Sunday. We're playing Sheffield Wednesday at home on Saturday, you know. That's right, and after the match, viewers can watch an exclusive interview with you. I'll do that, okay? The offer's available to Sky Digital and cable and wireless subscribers. Call 0870-848-6888 for more information and watch MUTV free for the weekend. Well, I want to know why not.
Free preview weekend takes place from Friday 16th of April to Sunday 18th of April inclusive. Free offer does not apply to existing MUTV subscribers.
Today I'm with SafeStyle UK and their team of expert fitters working on the downstairs windows of this lovely house. Now, if we nip up here, you can hear the SafeStyle fitters installing 3 windows upstairs. That's because the owners are taking advantage of SafeStyle's fantastic upstairs-downstairs deal, where you buy the downstairs windows and doors and they give you the upstairs for free. Discount restrictions apply to certain buildings. Interest-free credit is available. Ask for written details. All windows are internally beaded as standard, and SafeStyle UK will beat any genuine like-for-like quote. Give them a call on 0800 106 107.
It's almost time for supper where you are. But here in Lynchburg, Tennessee, it's about dinner time. See, we have dinner when most folks have lunch, and then what most folks call dinner, we call supper. That's one thing we do differently here in Jack Daniel's country. Another is to make whiskey the way Mr. Jack did, mellowing each drop through charcoal till it's sipping smooth. Nobody else goes through this charcoal mellowing process. Guess that's why nobody else has a whiskey that tastes quite like ours. Some things never change. Jack Daniel's is one of them.
So, Ron, how would you describe that goal?
Well, Bob, it was like,
Nice one, Ron.
Change your expectations. Get into the car at your Northwest Ford dealer now.
Martin Keown started and will presumably finish with Arsenal, with little spells at Brighton, Villa and Everton on the way.
Live from Villa Park, the second half. Century 105 Sports. The story so far. Manchester United versus Arsenal.
Phil Neville pushing forward down towards the corner flag on the left-hand side for United. Chips the ball back across, and the volley towards goal from Solskjaer was always going over the bar. Beckham into the path of Sheringham. Sheringham back to the direction of play. Lazy shot for Beckham! What a screaming goal! David Beckham breaks the deadlock! Bergkamp can just drop off towards his near touch on the come away with the ball, and he turns inside. Shown inside by Yapstam. Still Bergkamp goes! Great save! Schmeichel tipping it away to his right-hand side. Blomqvist running towards the corner of the penalty area, running at Lee Dixon. Gets towards the byline, low left-footed ball back across, and a left-footed shot inside the penalty area goes just right from Sheringham. Beckham, the man who got the goal, right-footed ball tipped in towards the near post. Break it back across the goal, and again it was Sheringham making the run at the near post. A little glance to the forehead took it completely over the Arsenal centre-halves, and none of the United players rushing in at the far post could quite get a touch to flick it past Seaman. Bursting forward is Petit! Good save Peter Schmeichel, who stood up at the near post again and got everything behind it. Nelka cutting inside the penalty area. Still Nicholas, and Nelka goes! No. And it goes wide. The Arsenal fans thought that it had just crept inside Peter Schmeichel's near post, but it hadn't. At the break, Arsenal 0, Manchester United 1.
Century Sport, with your local Northwest Ford dealer.
Great first half of Manchester United. David Beckham's goal, the first that Arsenal had conceded in 11 and a half hours of play, the first in 137 minutes of this tie. And Arsenal unbeaten in 15 FA Cup ties, a run stretching back to the 4th of February 1997 against Leeds, are in trouble. But bear in mind, they did come earlier in this cup campaign from 2 goals down away at Preston. And with no disrespect, it was Preston rather than Manchester United, but they were 2 down early to 2 goals from Nogan there, and they survived to win 4-2. Will we see another second half recovery from the Gunners? Manchester United, Peter Schmeichel in goal, Gary Neville, Jaap Stam, Ronnie Johnson and Phil Neville, Beckham, Keane, Bud and Blomqvist in midfield, Sheringham and Solskjaer up front with York, Giggs, Scholes, Irwin and Raymond van der Gouw, all unused substitutes at the moment as far as United are concerned, and they take the pitch away to our left-hand side. White shirts, black shorts, as Doris Day sings K Sarah Sarah. Is that an omen, Frank Stapleton? What's going to happen in the second half?
Well, I think it's hard to call. I think United have to start off as positive as they did in the first half. Again, take the game to United, dominate the centre of that midfield and take the chances when they come, because Arsenal haven't won 2 trophies last year just for nothing. They've got a lot of quality in their side, brilliant defence, great goalkeeper and some sparkling forwards. But again, it's about tonight. It's about winning the game in this 90 minutes. But I think there's something happen yet before we see the end and we see these 2 teams and see a winner.
Arsenal red shirts with the white sleeves, white shorts and red socks. Seaman in goal, Dixon Adams, Keown and Winterburn, Parla Vieira, Petit and Lundberg, Bergkamp and Anelka up front with Bold, Vivas, Overmars, Kanu and Lukic on the bench. Arsenal will get us off and running, King, from right to left towards the United fans in the north stand. United attacking the Holt End, the famous former covered terrace away to our right-hand side. Now a big seating area, of course, away to our right-hand side, the Midlands version of the Kop. Anelka and Bergkamp over the ball. David Ellery, who's had a less than controversial first half after a more than controversial first game. And not only now will Emmanuel Petit run out onto the pitch. Just a last-minute comfort stop for the Frenchman, I would imagine, who runs out, takes his place in the Arsenal midfield alongside Patrick Vieira.
I think he was getting a pair of gloves. I think that's what it was. He's just put a pair of gloves on. And it is cold tonight. It's like old February night.
What a lightweight. Ball down towards this near side. Arsenal will have to defend by playing Winterburn's ball back towards David Seaman and Petit. It's been pointed out to us, like Nicholas Anelka, wearing gloves but wearing a short sleeve shirt as well. He'll head it forward, looking for his strike partner, or looking for his striker, Nicholas Anelka. Stam's got back, holds off Bergkamp, gets it past Anelka to play Peter Schmeichel in, and his long clearance from Schmeichel goes down towards the edge of the other penalty area. Keown will lay it back to Seaman, whose right-footed ball forward up the right-hand touchline will go out of play for a goal kick, which will be taken on that far, for a throw, which will be taken on that far side by Manchester United, leading by 1-0. David Beckham on 17 minutes with the goal. Ball played forward. Tony Adams knocks it away. Headed forward by Keane. He will just give the ball away in centre field after Teddy Sheringham couldn't pick it up. Out towards the far side for Vieira. Patrick Vieira on the halfway line, down towards this near touchline. Brought forward by Arsenal once more. Adams turns it back the other way, takes him to a central position. Petit out towards the far side, and it runs across the face of his teammate Ray Parr on that far side. Now to play for a throw, which will be taken by Phil Neville on that far touchline. The United left. Arsenal 0, United 1. If it stays that way, it's a Manchester United-Newcastle United FA Cup final. Sheringham plays the ball out towards the left-hand touchline. Good ball as well. It'll be chased down by the corner flag. Not quite kept in by Blomqvist, but again, they're trying to use his pace to get round the back of Lee Dixon. Thanks.
Yeah, indeed. And I can't help thinking that if Ryan Giggs had been running onto that one, he'd have got there. He'd have left Dixon for dead. But just noticing one little thing at the beginning of the second half. Petit just played that ball across the parlour, and it was about 5 yards behind him. He never made one attempt to go and get it. It was a bad pass, and that's what they were having to go at him. He doesn't look like he's about it tonight, like he wants to know too much.
Vieira heads it on, looking for Dennis Bergkamp, who backs into Jaap Stam, and it's a free kick which will be taken by United 15 yards outside their own penalty area with Peter Schmeichel. Good little trick by Schmeichel, flicks the ball up, and he will run away outside his penalty area and spot it down for the free kick. He back-heeled the ball into his left shin, and it sat up into his hands for him, and he will now knock it forward right-footed. Gary Neville indicating that there's space for Beckham on the United right, and maybe that's where Schmeichel should intend this pass, and it is roughly in that direction. Beckham goes up for it and flicks it on, having sucked himself into a central position to try and get there. Solskjaer, willing runner on this near touchline, tried to come across and flick the ball back towards David Beckham, who was content to stick his foot in and stick it out of play for throw to be taken on this near side, and Nigel Winterburn will take it inside his own half, thrown forward, headed away by Ronnie Johnson through the midfield. Patrick Vieira steers it forward, a man who in his very short career with AC Milan and Arsenal hasn't experienced the taste of defeat very often. A player, of course, who's got a World Cup winners medal on his sideboard, 24 years of age. Ball play forward, headed down by Tony Adams. Keane on this near side. Right-footed ball forward, comes off Lundberg. Right-footed again forward from Keane. Tony Adams has got to turn and play it back towards David Seaman. Pressurised by Sheringham, but not really pressurised very hard. Seaman can get it clear down this near touchline, and Gary Neville heads it out of play for an Arsenal throw. Be taken by Nigel Winterburn, live on Century 105 with your local Northwest Ford dealer, and of course right round the world on the World Wide Web, as we, the official station of Manchester United, delighted to bring you exclusive internet coverage on www.manutd.com, www.manunited.com. Every kick of every United game between now and the end of the season played on British soil. Played back away to our right-hand side by Tony Adams towards David Seaman. Seaman will bring the ball towards the edge of his penalty area. 49 minutes gone, and he will get the ball clear right-footed, wearing a sort of purpley goalkeeping outfit tonight. Ball play for Pilser, handball against Stam. He brought the ball down in a central position, 10 yards outside his penalty area. So he's right for Beckham, right-footed ball chipped over the top. Headed back through the midfield. Keown down towards this near side for Adams. Adams stabs it forward for Petit. Petit for Lundberg. Lundberg heads it on. United appealed for the offside flag. Wasn't going to come because Johnson played Bergkamp onside, but then could just nip back and flick it back to Schmeichel. Long clearance by him. Bounces through the midfield. United attacking in that midfield area, and again they can't keep decent possession. Vieira tries to knock it forward. Sheringham was the player that was beaten, but Gary Neville can pick it up and flick it down towards this near side for Solskjaer. Solskjaer to David Beckham. Beckham bringing it forward, right-footed, out towards the far side. Good ball as well, chased by Blomqvist. Dixon can do no more than stop the ball getting out there at the expense of a corner. United's first for the second half.
Yeah, well, what they're doing again, as you said earlier, they're looking to try and bring Blomqvist into the game, and the ball is being played a little bit blindly, but they're telling the player to be expecting the ball at any time. So they're playing the ball, setting it up, and for the long pass over to that far side. And again, Dixon has got a problem because he knows there's a man coming behind him all the time. And he's suffering a little bit tonight.
In comes the corner towards the edge of the 6-yard box, looking for the flick header with Sheringham. Bounces for Keane, edge of the box. Keane's left-footed shot went through a crowd of legs, almost broke for Sheringham again, and does go out of play for a corner. It's United's second of the second half, and their seventh of the game, and Beckham, having received a standing ovation on the far side when he took the corner, will get the bird from the Arsenal fans when he takes one from this side.
I think he's well used to it now. He's scored a goal, so they won't be as loud as you would normally expect.
Beckham will take the corner on this near touchline. Overmars warms up on this near side, and Wanko Kanu warms up on this near side as well. Swings it in right-footed towards the corner of the 6-yard box, brought down by Bergkamp. He takes it down and then turns and whacks it clear right-footed, looking for Anelka, who's the only man up for Arsenal. Stam will be able to flick it back forward. Sheringham lays up towards the left-hand side. Blomqvist will bring the ball forward, looking for Solskjaer on the overlap. Get a second opportunity to flick it past Bergkamp, but again he can't make any headway, and it will be a United throw, but towards the halfway line, on the far side from us on the United left, and almost level with us, about 10-15 yards inside the Arsenal half, a little bit further towards the edge of the penalty area from where we're sitting in this main stand, big stone-built structure here in North Birmingham, amongst the terraced houses here in the suburb, surprisingly, of Aston. Ball out of play for a throw to be taken on that far touchline by Arsenal, by Lee Dixon. We've played 6.5 minutes of the second half. Extra time and penalties could be on the agenda, but only if Arsenal win the second half. They trail United by 1-0 at the moment. Beckham with it on 17 minutes, a goal worthy of winning any cup tie. What a cliche that is. Ball played over the top by Bergkamp, looking for Parler. Just bounced ahead of Parler. Schmeichel will pick it up inside his own penalty area. Case of the same again with Parler not really attacking the 50-50.
No, I don't think he fancied it too much, and it wouldn't surprise me at some stage whether they take him off. He just looks, I don't know what it is, maybe psychologically Philip Neville has won the game, and has won the game, his personal battle there, and Parler doesn't really believe that he can do anything against him tonight. And I think so far in the second half, United have come out brighter again. They started the better side again. we're just, 6-7 minutes into it, and there's a way to go yet.
It doesn't look like much of an ankle injury that Mark Overmars is carrying as he warms up on this near touchline. The ball played forward once more by Arsenal from the back with Keown, right-footed, sliding it across the turf for Bergkamp. Bergkamp again beaten by Stam, and again hands on hips. He shows his frustration as United clear their lines. A far touchline, Tony Adams, wonder how many times he's done that in his career. Poofed the ball out of play, safety in mind for a throw to be taken by United on that far touchline, and it means that the Arsenal defence can regroup behind the ball. Stam to Butt through the midfield for Keane. Keane's little layoff invites Sheringham to just drop off from the edge of the penalty area. He then knocks it square for Beckham, chips it first time over the top for Gary Neville, brings it down, and Gary Neville tried the very ornate back heel back towards Beckham. Beckham telling him just to try and do the easy things, keep possession, with United surrendering in decent position. They might win it back though. The throw from Winterburn, picked up by Beckham. His control as he ran onto it. Couldn't do an awful lot to keep possession. Vieira knocks it clear. Again, the ball concentrated around the midfield area. Keane slides in and beats Lundberg. Lays it back for Gary Neville. Right-footed, right on the halfway line. He chips it forward. Finds Butt, who brings the ball down. Solskjaer to Beckham to Roy Keane on this near touchline. Gary Neville no more than 2 feet from it. Play forward through the midfield once more. Beckham looking for the run of Solskjaer. Petit cuts it out. Vieira hooks an awkwardly bouncing ball through the midfield for Parler, who's cut into a more central position. Nicholas Anelka stumbles as he controls the ball, but he's got space with Lundberg outside of the left-hand side. Bergkamp and Parler pushing forward into a central position. Dixon on the overlap on the right. Petit will swing it out towards Lee Dixon. The offside flags up against Dennis Bergkamp, who, as the United defence appealed for the offside, Bergkamp almost appealed for the offside himself with his arm above his head. Too much time spent on the training field with the Arsenal back four, that is, and it's to be a free kick which will be taken by Peter Schmeichel away to our left. 54 minutes gone. And FA Cup legend Frank Stapleton sums up the best part of the hour that we've seen.
Well, it's been a very competitive match. I think the secret to the game has been the midfield, and as long as that goes on and it stays the same, United have started better, as I said, second half, but as we go on, the crucial stage of the game is going to come in the last 20 minutes.
Ball will be played forward towards Dennis Bergkamp. Jaap Stam trying to hold Bergkamp off. Bergkamp's got free on this occasion. Parler pushes forward. Nicholas Anelka towards the edge of the penalty area. Still Dennis Bergkamp has it short towards Parler. Parler towards the edge of the penalty area. Here's Freddie Lundberg. Back heel takes it behind Winterburn, but he's got time to adjust his run. Threads it in. Coming across. Good defending by Roy Keane. Down towards the right back position. He'll get it clear on the right hand side. Out of play. Having taken a deflection on Anelka on its way out for a Manchester United throw on this near touchline. But Keane, with Gary Neville having been committed into the challenge, just managed to nip behind him, cover, and get the ball clear.
Well, that's what he does really well, isn't it? And nice thing for Man United defenders is that, they know that if they're pulled out of position, that man is always around. They read the game so well, and he's got such a great engine. And you just fancy that, Roy, he's so good at that, at reading the game, and he'll just drop back and give people a breather, and he'll come around, and all of a sudden you think, well, he's got possession of the ball, and he very rarely gives it away.
Peter Schmeichel away to our left-hand side will get a goal kick as Bergkamp stabbed it forward. I think he was trying to get a touch of a United man to get the ball out of play for what would be only Arsenal's second corner of the game. And the United fans are the ones that you can hear extolling the virtues of Irishman Roy Keane. Schmeichel, the great Dane, whacks it forward right through over the halfway line. It bounces onto the head of Teddy Sheringham. Good play by United. Solskjaer lays it off left-hand side. Blomqvist cutting inside the penalty area. And, I don't know whether he tried an intentional back heel or whether he fell over the ball, but it presented itself straight to Patrick Vieira, and another decent position from United was lost. Keane will maintain possession, plays it back for Stam, and Stam will bring in Schmeichel.
But again, Blomqvist just wasn't positive enough. And he ran towards the first, it was one-on-one again inside the box, and I really thought that he should have gone for it.
Is Keane breaking forward out towards the left-hand side for Solskjaer. Solskjaer through! Oh, he had the time in the world, and Ollie Solskjaer has wasted the opportunity to book United's passage at Wembley. He was clean through, 10 yards from goal, not a marker within 3 yards of him, but he hurried, and he wasted the opportunity by dragging a very lame shot wide of David Seaman's right-hand post.
Well, as I thought, I just seen it on the monitor, I thought he was offside, and he was offside. The only problem was that the referee's assistant wasn't in line with it. They couldn't make the decision. But I've got to say that he was offside, and I'm glad he didn't score there, because that would have been unjust to Arsenal.
Ball played forward down towards his near touchline for Sheringham. Sheringham for David Beckham, flip ball over the top. Sheringham can't keep it in play and volleys it disconsolately almost into the face of St John's ambulance man, just crouching down behind a yellow stretcher on this near touchline to the right of the United dugout. And although they're not smiling, they're smiling inwardly, the United dugout. Ball played forward by United once more with Mickey Butt. Petit lays the ball back towards Keown. Keown 15 outside his own penalty area, down towards his near side for Winterburn. And Winterburn's left-footed ball forward over the halfway line is intercepted by Gary Neville, who stabs it off on the challenge from Bergkamp for Beckham. Winterburn's challenge did enough to win possession back for Arsenal. Bergkamp finding Petit. Good challenge this time by Butt coming back to cover. Gary Neville and Roy Keane. Keane will bring it forward. And again, United have men over pushing forward on this quick break. And again, United couldn't get the ball forward to those men in time. The ball played forward towards the edge of the area. Blomqvist! David Seaman gets down and tips it just around the post. Yes, for Blomqvist, only one goal in 30 games for Manchester United, coming so close to getting his second and United's second of the night.
Yeah, it was a great ball. Blomqvist found himself free, and I think he was surprised, very surprised that he could turn. But it was a first-time shot, but David Seaman got his angle right there and managed to knock it around the post. It was an excellent save, but an excellent move from United as well.
In comes the corner, or Beckham prepares to take the corner from that far touchline. The third of the second half and eighth of the game, and right-footed in-swinger, headed away by Martin Keown. It bounces to an Arsenal man in the midfield. It was Anelka, and Anelka lays it off for Bergkamp. Bergkamp caught late in that midfield battle. Will be able to swing the ball down towards the left-hand side for Winterburn. A high-arcing ball over the top intended for Parler. Keane won it in the air. The ball out of play for a throw to be taken by Arsenal midway inside the Manchester United half, and it's taken short by Lundberg towards Dixon. Dixon to Petit down towards the near side of Vieira. Vieira inside the centre circle of Tony Adams, and Adams brings in Winterburn. Left-footed, square towards Vieira. Vieira out towards the right-hand side. Dixon will bring it forward once more. Still Lee Dixon has it. Square to Vieira again. Play concentrated in the midfield, about 30 yards outside the United penalty area. Short towards the left-hand side for Winterburn. Winterburn changed by Beckham, turns it back towards the halfway line and brings in Martin Keown. Keown runs round it, just changed his body shape to get round it under challenge from Blomqvist and figured out towards the right-hand side. Good ball by Parler. Danger this. Dixon ball inside the penalty area. Stam can hack it away. And this runs Dixon again on the right-hand touchline. A yard in from that right-hand side, square towards Parler. Parler, the 15 on his shirt, slightly muddied, brings the ball forward, and now edge to the penalty area, tries to twist and turn, lays it short towards Petit. Good foot in by Keane again, and played away by United. Not the best of balls from Sheringham, cut out by Keown. Keown out towards Parler, right-hand touchline, Ray Parler's ball inside the box, and Nelka! That was the chance for Arsenal, he spooned it over the bar.
Yeah, and that's the best chance Arsenal have really had. The ball came to Anelka, and you can tell that it's a player who's really not at the top of his game, and he snatched the ball, tried to side-foot it, but it went, well, it must have meant 6-8 feet over the bar, completely ballooned the ball, and that's very disappointing from a quality player.
He's gone 6 games without a goal, Nicholas Anelka, and as a striker, when you get into, say, that sort of range, does it begin to play on your mind?
Yeah, you begin to snatch at the ball, you begin to think that I'll take it quickly, take it early, and on that occasion it tended to hit his shin more than his foot, and he found himself missing a good opportunity there.
And now we're gone. Ryan Giggs prepares to come up for Manchester United through the midfield. Keane will pick it up, caught late by Petit. Oh, a booking from Emmanuel Petit. How out of carry. In fact, it's Parler, in fact, that made the challenge. And it will be a yellow card given to Parler. And Giggs will come on for United with an hour gone, and Blomqvist will come off.
Yeah, well, that's right. As we fancy that now, we're going to... How does Lee Dixon feel now? Blomqvist has had a good game. He's taken him off now. He's played excellent. He's done the job for United. And Dixon thinks, well, I can have a rest now. And who's coming on? Ryan Giggs. And hopefully he can put the icing on the cake for United. I just get a feeling that Parler may be coming on. So he may decide to bring coming off as well. But I think he may decide to bring Lundberg, because he's been a little bit ineffective as well. But we'll just see what number he's going to put up.
Well, by the fact that he's reprogramming, it made me imagine that he will change it, because it's 11 for 15 for Arsenal, for United, and if we can follow it, it'll be 11 for 15 as well for Arsenal. As it is, Lundberg comes off, an ineffectual hour, as Frank was saying, and Mark Overmars comes on. 29 minutes for Overmars to change the game, 29 minutes for Giggs to enhance the status of the game as far as United are concerned. Live on Century 105 with your local Northwest Ford dealer. Arsenal 0, Manchester United 1. Both sides making a substitution with half an hour or so to go. Long ball play forward by United. Petit heads it away, down towards his near touchline. Overmars gets a first touch and a second touch. The man who effectively won the title for Arsenal, scoring that goal at Old Trafford last season. Ball out of play. Free kick will be taken by Arsenal on this near touch line. And Beckham's got to be careful here. He's received the yellow card, and as he trotted forward, the ball came off his shins and went back out of play, stopping Nigel Winterburn taking a quick free kick. but the referee decided it wasn't deliberate, and sensible decision coming from the London-based official, and Winterburn for the London-based team swings it forward, left-footed, and Nelka brings it down. Cut out though by United comfortably as well, but leaves it for Sheringham. Sheringham with Solskjaer ahead of him, plays into Giggs. Giggs' first touch of the game, not the best. Keane spells him out after Giggs played it square to his right hand side with his second touch. Beckham chips it over the top. Gary Neville can't get on the end of it. Tony Adams wants a little bit too much time perhaps, and then has to hook it right, put it back towards David Seaman. Seaman's right-footed clearance towards the halfway line. On the end of it, Dennis Bergkamp, and Nelka goes up for it. Stam heads it down. Giggs tries to turn it back through the midfield. Cut out by Dixon, but the feet were raised from Patrick Vieira, and it's a free kick which will be taken by Manchester United inside the Arsenal half of the centre circle. 18 second half minutes gone. Arsenal 0, Manchester United 1.
Well, at the moment, it's United who are dominating, so they're not creating too many chances, but they are having a lot of good possession. Just seems to me that like Arsenal just can't get the game to the point where they had it in the first half, and during that good period, just about 15-20 minutes, second 20 minutes of the first half, as they break here on the left.
With Mark Overmars, who got past Gary Neville, urged on by the Arsenal fans. Here's Overmars onto his right foot, lays it off towards the edge of the penalty area. Parler, short of Petit, left-footed shot, cannoned away off Keane. Out towards the right-hand side for Dixon. Dixon plays in Patrick Vieira on the right-hand side of the Arsenal midfield. Gets a return, back-heel ball from Petit. Back towards the centre circle for Adams. Adams, who never looks particularly comfortable on the ball. Out towards the right-hand side for Keown. Keown for Dixon. Arsenal, United have done well to thwart this Arsenal movement forward, and again when they pick it up now, Arsenal, they're inside their own half, having had very decent position with Overmars on the left-hand side a few seconds ago. Adams will bring it forward once more, and he saunters past Johnson. Stamp comes across. Great challenge to deny Tony Adams, and Arsenal have a corner.
Yeah, I think Tony Adams was a little bit lucky there. You got to know, he went to play a 1-2, and it came off a Man United player, Sheehan. But Johnson seemed to go with a player who moved to the other side, and the gap opened up for him, and Stam came around and made the block. But Tony Adams was in with only Stam to beat.
Petit will take the corner on the left-hand side in front of the Corner Flag restaurant and the old Sports Hall clock away to our left-hand side. In it comes left-footed towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Stam heads it away under Adams' challenge. Right-footed ball, digged back over the top by Dennis Bergkamp. Will get a second opportunity to try and play that sort of ball. Plays in Petit down the left-hand side. First time volley across the ground. Attacked by Martin Keown of all people, but put out of play by covering Teddy Sheringham. Throw will be taken on this near touchline in front of an Arsenal fan whose chest and back were big enough to sport a shirt which had all the numbers 1998 written across the back of it, and double winners. Keane on this near touchline slides in, and Petit has tracked 50 yards back to stick it out of play for a throw. It's been taken by Nigel Winterburn on this near side. Winterburn throws it back towards David Seaman. It'll be United's double and treble dreams that are still alive rather than Arsenal's if it stays this way. 1-0 to United. Down towards this near touchline. Sheringham to Beckham to Keane. Keane turning inside a challenge from Winterburn. Winterburn to Beckham. Right-footed ball forward. If Arsenal don't win the double this year, will we see the breakup of this famous Arsenal team? Beckham brings the ball forward. Played over the top. Giggs heads it down, but was through. Offside flag up very, very early and correctly. Free kick to Arsenal.
Yeah, but that was fantastic impressive play there between Beckham and Roy Keane. And then all of a sudden they were behind the Arsenal midfield and the defence was backing off. Just really like to see the wide players come into the play there and just take things a little bit wider and separate that Arsenal back four, and that's where the chances will come. But on that occasion they try to play it through the middle, and Arsenal just held the ground and got the famous right arms up.
Now this time the arm was raised from Ronnie Johnson, and it was across the front of Dennis Bergkamp. A free kick will be taken by Arsenal in a very central position, but not shooting territory even for Petit. Left-footed ball, stabbed forward quickly. Vieira slid in Gary Neville to knock it away before he got to Overmars, but will be able to flick it forward for Giggs, and Giggs with the fresh legs will be able to bring it forward. Good ball out towards the left-hand side. 3 against 3. Arsenal labouring, breaking forward at the left-hand touchline. Still United will be able to bring it forward. Cutting inside. Beckham into the penalty area. Beckham over the bar. Another glorious chance for United. And again, they couldn't kill the Gunners off.
Well, that was it, and I hope he doesn't rule that miss, but it was pretty difficult. It wasn't the ball that he could hit first time. It was just bubbling up on that little 18-yard box around the D. I think David Beckham really wanted to hit it first time, but the ball just sat up and he had to control it. Still got a shot in, but it was too high. But again, that was a good opportunity for United.
Arsenal again have to defend. Solskjaer brings forward. Solskjaer ran an edge of the penalty area. David Seaman got down and produced a fantastic save to deny him. That is one of the best saves I've ever seen. Solskjaer, right-footed shot, and Seaman not only stopped it, but he held it from close range. And Nelka will bring the ball forward. Out towards the right turn. It's an extraordinary save. Bringing it forward once more. Arsenal stop with a Nelka. Referee spots an infringement. Arsenal have a free kick 15 outside the United penalty area.
There was a great save by Seaman, because the ball was actually behind him. It looked like it was going over the line, and he skilled it back with one hand and held onto it. I thought that was it. That was the game. It was over, but Arsenal are coming back strong again in this game. It's so exciting, end to end.
4 decent chances in the second half for United. Arsenal have had one clear-cut opportunity squandered by Anelka. They can't do anything from that free kick, although they maintain possession with Winterburn. With 3/4 of the way through the game. United 3/4 of the way to Wembley to book the FA Cup final against Newcastle United on May the 22nd. Play forward on that right-hand side. Dixon to Parler. Parler will be able to bring it forward towards the edge of the penalty area. Lays it off down towards this near touchline. Arsenal with Nigel Winterburn, 5 yards in from the left-hand side. Winterburn looking for options ahead of him. Plays it forward towards Bergkamp. Bergkamp twisting, turning, central position, right-footed shot, taken a deflection, and it's got in! Arsenal are back on terms! Dennis Bergkamp with the goal! A right-footed shot took a horrible deflection off one of the United defenders, and seconds after David Seaman has produced a top-score save to keep Arsenal in the game. They go down the other end. Bergkamp shot deflected off Stam. Arsenal 1, United 1.
Well, they gave Dennis Bergkamp a lot of room over there, and they just failed to close them down quickly enough. The ball came through 2 players, and the head went off Stam's knee, and there's nothing Peter Schmeichel could have done about that. What an amazing game from one end to the other. You know, United could have been 3-0 up. Instead, it's 1-1.
Do you think that United have blown their chance now in the big scheme of this game? Arsenal have got the momentum. So often they say the second goal of the game is the more important one than the first. Arsenal have scored that second goal, as I say, seconds after decent chance at the other end. It could fall through for Solskjaer. Knocked away with that handball in the penalty area. Shot to Beckham. Right outside of the penalty area. Pulled back across, and there's no one at the far post. Giggs was running in. Couldn't get there. And it will roll, trickle, no more than that out of play for a throw on the far side. What a game.
Well, this game is really opening up. All of a sudden, from having no chances, we've had 4 chances in the last 3 minutes. And United have failed to convert any of theirs. But Arsenal have got that one that's the most important, and that's the equaliser.
Ball play forward down the far side from us. Yep, Sam hooks it over his own head. Thought the first game was good. This is just sensational. Far touchline. Solskjaer has fouled his man in the eyes of David Ellery. Lee Dixon, the agreed player, free kick to Arsenal. Level the edge of the penalty area. 20 minutes to go. Extra time and penalties on the agenda. And what we do know now is that for all the drama we've had so far, the real drama is still yet to unfold, and you'll hear it all live on Century 105. It was a horrible deflection. Just seeing another replay of it, a horrible deflection off Stam. Ball played forward. It's 1-1 with your local Northwest Ford dealer. Arsenal 1, Manchester United 1. Beckham on 17, celebrating his 200th game of the goal. Bergkamp on 69, celebrating his 150th Arsenal game with his 15th goal of the season, the 65th goal of his career for Arsenal. Ball played forward towards the edge of the penalty area. Flicked on by United once more. Hammer clear by Adams. Knocked away by Vieira. Bounces through the centre circle and Nelka towards Dennis Bergkamp. Bergkamp over the top. And Nelka's pace may take him through. Schmeichel comes out quickly, having just initially checked his run. He then sprinted out and just got there. And it's a throw to be taken by Arsenal on the right-hand side. Into the feet of Nicholas Anelka. Back out towards Parler. To Dixon. Dixon to Parler once more. Parler onto his right foot. Through the midfield for Manu Petit. Petit, to his left-hand side, has got Dixon. Winterburn, should I say. Ball chipped over the top. Gary Neville can cushion a header back towards Peter Schmeichel. And with less than 20 minutes to go, it's Arsenal 1, Manchester United 1. And again, we've seen that very quick clearance from Peter Schmeichel, but no United player attacking it this time. Giggs will put pressure on the back pass towards David Seaman. Right-footed Seaman got it clear without any alarm. Down through the midfield. Keane will bring it down to Beckham, whose goal on 17 minutes seemed for so long, destined to win this FA Cup tie. Ball played forward over the top by Gary Neville, headed down by Tony Adams, out of play. Throw will be taken by Manchester United 5 yards inside the Arsenal half. Play forward, looking for Beckham. The flick header comes from Winterburn. Take it off his head towards Vieira. High ball over the top. Johnson on the end of it for Manchester United. Brings it down and has made a mistake. Here's Bergkamp again. Into the penalty area. Schmeichel makes the save. And Nelka 2-1 to Arsenal. Terrible mistake by Peter Schmeichel. But on the far touchline, the referee has a look and the flag is up. And the flag that bailed Manchester United, or bailed Arsenal out on occasion on Sunday, has bailed Manchester United out. And Nicolas Anelka's goal is offside.
Well, that's what I think the referee just is going to give. Because Anelka was in there very quick. I know he's a quick player, but if he was there when the initial shot came in, he's got to be offside because he's taking advantage of being in an offside position.
What's the referee given?
He's given a free kick.
It's 1-1. Unbelievable game.
But Peter Schmeichel will be the most relieved of anybody because he spooled the shot, went straight to Anelka who rounded him and scored a goal. But fortunately for him,
well, it was a bad mistake by Schmeichel. He's got away with it. Overmars left-hand side. The momentum is with Arsenal. They will feel as though they've got effectively 2 goals in 3 minutes here. And Keane is off. Roy Keane sent off. A second FA Cup semi-final red card for Roy Keane at Villa Park. A late challenge on Overmars. Keane didn't even stay and look. Straight down the tunnel. And United, having been a goal up with 21 minutes to play, are now tied back at 1-1, bailed out by an offside flag, and will play the last 17 minutes with 10 men. Bergkamp on this near touch and will take the free kick.
I've got to ask where Gary Neville was when that ball came down his...
In comes Bergkamp's free kick. Vieira on the edge of the 6-yard box. Good break for Petit. United will try and get it clear. Peels for a handball against Stam. Certainly not intentional. Winterburn inside the centre circle. Solskjaer, who missed a couple of decent chances when it was 1-0 and 11 against 11, closes him down. Fired ball over the top. Headed ball by Johnson. It's all Arsenal. Bergkamp heads to the penalty area. Right-footed shot. Tipped away by Schmeichel, looking nervous. Out towards the right-hand side. Still Arsenal have it. Cutting inside the box. Parler chips it across. No one waiting. Gary Neville heads it behind.
Well, it'll be interesting to see if Arsenal can make the extra man count. Unlike United did on Sunday, they obviously will look to try and get the ball in wide positions, but can United hold on and can they make the game last? Because now really the best they can hope for is penalties.
Corner from Petit, edge of the 6-yard box, it bounces back down. Keogh trying to turn it towards goal. Eventually it was Anelka in a right scramble on the far side that got the touch and 6-yard play, and it's a goal kick. Arsenal 1, Manchester United 1. Beckham on 17, Bergkamp on 69 for Arsenal. Moments later, Nicolas Anelka had a goal ruled out for offside with a late flag. Paul Scholes will come up for Manchester United. Roy Keane sent off for United for a second bookable offence, and Scholes comes on for Sheringham with 15 minutes plus, and I almost say hopefully plus, extra time to come.
Yeah, well, it's just turned all around now, hasn't it? The game's been an unbelievable match. All of a sudden, United, instead of being 3-0 up, now down to 10 men, they should be 2-1 down. It's an unbelievable scenario. But who would have misread this 10-15 minutes ago? United looked like they were coasting and going to go through to the FA Cup final. Now they're hanging on just to stay in the competition.
Paul Scholes comes on for Teddy Sheringham. And we've got 15 minutes of this dramatic seesaw roller coaster FA Cup semi-final to go. Arsenal 1, Manchester United 1. Parler on the far touchline. Caught by Phil Neville. The aggravation visible for all these United fans and players now. Phil Neville furious at the decision. Brought forward by Arsenal on the right-hand side. And it will be just laid off towards Vieira. He finds Tony Adams. 14 minutes to go. Extra time and penalties on the agenda tonight. If, and it is an if, Arsenal don't find a way through. United hanging on at the moment. Overmars, left-hand side, right-footed ball, chipped in, looking for Anelka, headed away, and it's goal kick. Anelka getting the last touch. Phil Neville covering well, coming across from left back.
Yeah, there was United are being stretched, and then Arsenal are looking to try and use the width, but also drag people short so that they can take one of the centre halves out, and the extra man in the midfield will be able to get forward into the spaces created. But can United defend like Arsenal did on Sunday in that extra time period?
Peter Schmeichel, right-footed from on the edge of his 6-yard box, knocks it forward. Headed on by Giggs, picked up by Dixon on that right-hand side. Dixon forward for Bergkamp. Parler on the overlap. All of a sudden, he's got spring in his step. Laid back to Dixon. Dixon to Vieira. Vieira with Petit to his left-hand side. Forward for Anelka. Laid off past Beckham to Petit. Petit to Winterburn. Winterburn on the left-hand touchline for Arsenal. Nigel Winterburn. Left-footed ball. Swung out towards the far touchline. It'll be played forward once more by Arsenal. Short towards Dixon. Right-footed ball towards the edge of the penalty area. Bergkamp looking for the layoff. Anelka couldn't get there. Knocked away by Beckham. Into space towards the left-hand side for Solskjaer. Solskjaer lays it off for Giggs. Solskjaer will continue to run down the left-hand side. United very unwilling to throw bodies forward wholesale, but pushing forward towards the edge of the penalty area. Solskjaer can find Giggs again. His back heel back into his path didn't work. Arsenal bring it forward. Vieira over the halfway line to Dennis Bergkamp. Bergkamp waits for options ahead of him. So much space for Overmars on the left-hand side. Gary Neville looking weary now. Overmars will run at him. Scholes comes across. Got a hat-trick for England. Can he get the one goal tonight that could get him back at Wembley? Laid back towards Petit in the central position. Left-footed ball chipped over the top. Stam heads it away. Came back off Bergkamp. Sliding in on that far touchline. It's well won by United with Ryan Giggs. But the referee spotting infringement doesn't let United play the advantage. It's a free kick, which they will take 15 yards outside their penalty area. 12 minutes of normal time to go. Arsenal 1, Manchester United 1.
Yeah, what United haven't done is, I mean, if they're trying to get people forward, when we had that break with Solskjaer and Giggs, they just got crowded out. The two centre midfield players just sat there and thought, well, we're not going to get caught in the break. We just have to play it safe and hope that one of the two forwards can make something of just being there, and maybe a bit of magic and turn the game for United.
Tony Adams through the midfield. Vieira almost presented it to Beckham in his ball, which found Winterburn. Remember, Arsenal had 2 decent chances to win the game with 10 men on Sunday. They didn't take either of them. Can United force a chance? Certainly in these early stages, Frank, it looks as though Arsenal are doing better against the 10 men than United did on Sunday against 10 men.
Well, they are, because they're keeping good possession of the ball and they're spreading it wide whenever possible. And we saw the other day where United tried to play the ball through the middle, through the two centre-backs, and it was very, very difficult trying to get in those little areas. And that just food and drink for the two Arsenal centre-backs, because they just like to come onto things all the time. But now it's, they didn't really, they probably had their best chance of the game, was in that extra time, was Arsenal when Lundborg got through and Schmeichel made a great save. But at the moment, it's obviously all Arsenal, and they're using the ball very, very well and passing it to each other and moving well off it.
The clock's ticking there very slowly. Parler towards the right-hand side. Vieira on the overlap. Parler stumbles and loses his balance on the edge of the box. It's laid back towards Overmars. Gary Neville whacks it right-footed high into the ether. Bounces down. Solskjaer on the end of it. Scholes out towards the left-hand side for Giggs. Giggs will bring the ball forward. Beckham will drop forward into a central position, but it's picked up by Winterburn. Winterburn on the left-hand side to Overmars. Overmars bringing it forward for Arsenal again. 10 minutes to go. 1-1 live on Century 105. Good footing by Scholes in the midfield. Adams out towards the right-hand touchline for Ray Parler. It's relentless. Arsenal pressure. Parler towards the edge of the penalty area. Chips it over the top. Chased by Bergkamp. He won't keep that in. It's out of play for a throw. It's to be taken by United down by their own corner flag. The last time Keane was sent off in an FA Cup semi-final for United still got to Wembley, beating Crystal Palace here at Villa Park. Darren Patterson of Palace was also sent off in that game. The Northern Ireland international, who's now at Dundee United. Will it be the same again today? Arsenal 1, Manchester United 1. Scholes down towards the near touchline for Butt. Gary Neville, right-footed ball over the halfway line. Almost inevitably, it's an Arsenal head on the end of it, with United, as I say, very unwilling to commit bodies forward. Winterburn plays it back to David Seaman, but straight away, with a point of his index finger on his left hand, out towards the far touchline for Dixon, indicates where he wants the ball to go, and Seaman obliges. Here's Petit getting the ball from Parler inside the centre circle. Left-footed ball, chipped over the top. Gary Neville heads it down, but he's in there. Beckham will flick the ball away. David Beckham doing well in the midfield. Giggs ahead of him. Scholes is in there as well, but again, Arsenal can win him back. Adams to Overmars. Overmars with Anelka surely offside. Play continues. The ball threaded through, looking for Vieira. Peter Schmeichel will pick it up. 9 minutes to go. Arsenal 1, Manchester United 1, Frank Stapleton.
Well, it's poised at the moment, isn't it? They're really lacking anything in attack. They're just hoping that the front players can keep the ball for them. But we've got just under 10 minutes left, and they've got this extra time, and I don't have much hope unless they can do something. They can weather the storm, and if a chance comes that they take it, and just hope that they can. But we want to get it in normal time, because go into the extra time, and as the pace of the game starts to tell, and they really will be asking a lot of the players.
Still Manchester City incidentally lead Luton 2-0 here. It's 1-1 and Frank frustrated at Giggs' inability to play the ball into the feet of Solskjaer. It'll be played forward by Winterburn on the left-hand side for Arsenal. Inside his own half, but not for long. Knocks the ball square towards Vieira. 8 minutes to go. It's Arsenal 1, Manchester United 1. United are down to 10 men and Arsenal have had a goal. Controversially, but not quite as controversially as United's on Sunday, ruled out for an offside flag. Scholes brings it forward for United. Tries to thread it in, and he threaded it, well, straight through to David Seaman. He got it goal side of the centre half, but no more than that. Scholes down towards his near touchline. That's a better ball. He finds Beckham. Beckham now has to ride a crunching challenge from Overmars. Sliding in, Scholes will lay the ball back towards Ronnie Johnson. Johnson wanted too much time almost. Plays a tricky ball forward, which Butt deals with very neatly because he turned as he received it. And Inside Petit played the ball forward, and again, United, Frank, the last 3 or 4 minutes, that's about 6 balls forward that they played inside the centre halves, straight through to David Seaman.
Yeah, and I think we're showing our frustration as well. It's very difficult, and we're set up here, and the lads have given everything for all the game. It's been a very competitive match, and the options, there aren't as many options when you play the ball forward, and if it isn't just perfect, you must remember that Arsenal have the extra man when United are going forward. The ball isn't just perfect, well then they're not going to get it, and then the thing breaks down. You think to yourself, you know, it's so hard to get it back, but I know it's just our own frustration, but I'm sure the players are feeling it as well because they've worked really hard just to get in this position.
Beckham down towards this near side for Gary Neville. Yarning from the right-hand side, comes off Winterburn. Well, I thought he came off Winterburn.
He's got it wrong there, the referee. It came back off Winterburn's toe.
The referee has given a throw, which Winterburn himself will take. Gary Neville furious, but in the context of the game, well advised not to make too much of a song and dance about it, and he doesn't. Adams out towards the right-hand side. Stam and Beckham still on yellow cards. Keane sent off for 2 yellow cards. Keown and Parler of Arsenal getting yellow cards. Ball will be brought forward by Arsenal on the right-hand side. 6 minutes to go, plus stoppage time, then maybe extra time and penalties. Arsenal 1, Manchester United 1. Let's be realistic about it. Penalties is probably the only way that we're going to win. United are going to win this.
Well, you would think so. I certainly think 11 against 10. And the way that Arsenal have been using the ball, but saying that they proved that on Sunday, you know, that
bad ball by Phil Neville, straight to Dennis Bergkamp in a dangerous position. Bergkamp steps off Nicholas Anelka, left-hand side of the penalty area. Petit is in the centre. Anelka turns inside, right-footed shot, hit with the outside of his right boot, and it curls right across the face of the 6-yard box and away, and out of play for a goal kick for Schmeichel.
Yeah, that was a half chance again, given away. Poor possession in the middle of the park. All right, can afford to give away the ball up front. They can't afford to give it away there because the boys are working so hard to make up for the man less. You know, you just got to make sure that if you're going to give it away, it's playing a ball into the forward position. But I was saying before, it's a situation where you just always got to stay positive and say, well, if a chance comes, if Arsenal just drop the guard for a minute and the possibility of a goal comes, they should take it. And then, you know, at this late stage of the game, it's pretty difficult for Arsenal to come back.
Bergkamp to Anelka, right-hand side. Nicholas Anelka will bring the ball forward. Lays it off for Manu Petit. Left-footed ball, flighted over the top, chipped over the top. Gary Neville and Overmars tangle. Overmars very theatrically appealed for a free kick, for obstruction at the very least, didn't get it. Schmeichel, though, gives possession straight back to Arsenal with another hurried clearance, which is picked up by Petit on the left-hand side. 5 yards inside the United half. Laid back inside his own half for Winterburn. Winterburn to Adams. Adams to Dixon, who's got 20 yards of space in front of him. Giggs will come across and close him down. Dixon, unfazed by that, plays it forward into the feet of Dennis Bergkamp. Back out towards the right-hand side. Arsenal will be able to bring it forward once more. Still, they can bring it forward. Ray Parler it was. Challenged brilliantly on the edge of the penalty area by United's Ronnie Johnson. But Scholes will play down towards his near touch line. And Gary Neville will be able to just turn inside his man Mark Overmars and lay it back towards Peter Schmeichel, who very deliberately sets himself up for a right-footed kick. Launched forward. Solskjaer trying to hold it up, but it's a thankless catch that. Winterburn will play the ball across towards Dixon. And there are 4 minutes to go. Arsenal 1, Manchester United 1. Play forward for Patrick Vieira on the edge of the centre circle. Right, put it out towards Parler. Parler for Anelka. Anelka Turns inside, Nicky Butt. Still Nicholas Anelka has it. 2 yards inside the Arsenal half. Played out towards the right side for Dixon. Lee Dixon will bring the ball forward. Still Dixon has it. Looking for options ahead of it. Right-footed ball chipped over the top. But T lets it run over his head and tries to get on the end of the return ball from Dennis Bergkamp. Brought down by Gary Neville. Right-footed, he gets it clear. United try and break with Scholes. Scholes with Solskjaer ahead of him. Out to his left is Giggs. Giggs still inside his own half. Plays it forward. Again, he's looking for Scholes. Cut out by Tony Adams. Adams to Keown. Keown down towards this left-hand side for Winterburn. And again, United will have this relentless, inevitable pressure heaped upon their shoulders. Down to 10 men. They led for more than 50 minutes of this FA Cup semi-final replay, with the man that's on the ball, David Beckham, getting the goal that for so long seemed destined to be the big headline maker. Gary Neville. How the game's changed since then. Plays the ball forward. There's Neville to Butt. Butt to Giggs. Stabbed over the top for Solskjaer. The 10 men breaking forward once more. Adams on the end of it. Keown on the end of it. So too on that right-hand side, Dixon, who will bring the ball forward. Parler just tries to hold the ball up and back off his man. It's a free kick to Arsenal. 10 yards inside the Arsenal half. 2.5 minutes to go before extra time and penalty.
Yes, and it's just United hanging on and getting people in when they get the ball and go forward. Only getting to a certain part of the field, and then Arsenal receive or get possession back fairly easily. They've not really ventured into the box, have they, since they've gone down to 10 men. But that's it, the rearguard action, you have to cope with it, and hopefully they can hang on. When we get the penalties, then it is a lottery, and it just becomes down to the one kick miss or two kick miss, whatever. But at the moment, you wouldn't hold out that United, as they get more tired, maybe the manager will make one or two other changes just to reinforce the midfield and think, well, the longer it goes on, the better chance we've got.
Cold, calm and calculating Arsene Wenger sits expressionless on the Arsenal bench, but he must be delighted with what he's seen so far. 88 minutes gone. Arsenal 1, Manchester United 1. Arsenal surviving 25 minutes of extra time with 10 men on Sunday. It's back now with United down to 10 men. Arsenal 1, United 1. It's full time at Main Road. City have beaten Luton by 2-0 tonight. Early goals from Paul Dickoff and Tony Vaughan. Early goal from David Beckham here, but nothing going United's way now. Free kick taken quickly inside the centre circle. Keown to Vieira. Vieira to Overmars. Overmars running at Gary Neville. Still Mark Overmars running and trying to cut inside the England fullback. Good challenge by Paul Scholes. Scholes will take it down towards his near touchline and get it away. Right-footed down towards his near side for Beckham. Beckham under pressure from Vieira. Square across the edge of his own penalty area. But he's on the end of it though. Solskjaer tries to bring in Ryan Giggs, who hasn't made much of an impression since he's come on. Dixon knocks it away. Parler out towards the right-hand side. And Nelka. Stam is out there as well. Also having received the yellow card. Now Stam will push forward of the left-hand side. Now he'll trap back as Giggs comes away with the ball. Beaten to it by Parler. Parler down towards his near touchline now for Mark Overmars. Inside the final minute, but there will be injury time. Will they get to extra time? Winterburn plays the ball in. It cannons away on this near touchline. Styling change from Ronnie Johnson. Helps it off for Beckham. 2 against 2 just for a moment. Beckham will motor forward as fast as his tired legs will carry him. Turns inside Patrick Vieira. Kicks to his right-hand side. To his left is Solskjaer. Chips it out towards Solskjaer. Heads it down. Left-hand side of the area. Turning inside Martin Keown. Still Solskjaer goes. Lays it back across the edge of the 6-yard box, and Adams will be able to bring it clear. And there was no chance of Giggs getting on the end of that. And 3 minutes of injury time will be played at the end of this second batch of 90 minutes of this FA Cup semi-final.
Well, it's unbelievable. It's a breathtaking game, and at the moment it's just thought for a second that maybe United would have if Giggs and Beckham had just benched a little bit into the centre of the goal, there may have been a half chance there for a second, but we're being very, very optimistic with it.
Full time at Middlesbrough. Middlesbrough 0, Chelsea 0. So the top three, as you were in the Premiership, United 64 points for the game in hand, Arsenal 63 and Chelsea 63. Middlesbrough up to 7th in the Premiership tonight. Arsenal will bring it forward with Dixon, 30 seconds into injury time. Another 2.5 minutes of injury time to be played. Dixon for Anelka, it's 1-1. Ball played forward, United down to 10 men. Ball chipped over the top by Bergkamp. Patia got through. Schmeichel comes out and makes the save 5 yards inside his own penalty area, and he will waste as much time as he thinks he can get away with before knocking it forward long as far upfield as he can. Arsenal 1, Manchester United 1, knocked forward from the edge of his own penalty area, brought down by Beckham. The United players look shot, absolutely dead on their feet. Overmars, left-hand side, ball flicked over the top, headed away on the edge of the penalty area by Ronnie Johnson, brought down by Nicholas Anelka. If United are going to lose this game, please let it happen in the next few seconds and don't take us to extra time. Going forward inside the penalty area, the referee has heard might cry, and it's a penalty to Arsenal. Report inside the penalty area. The challenge came in from Phil Neville, and it's a penalty to Arsenal. And our Manchester United heading out of the FA Cup in injury time at the end of 90 minutes after a thrilling replay.
Well, I think they are, and Phil Neville can have no complaints. He took Parler's legs cleanly there, and you've got to say there was no complaints from the United players. It's just the tiredness that got to them, but what a shame. But Arsenal have come back strong.
It's Bergkamp, right-footed. Schmeichel saved it. Peter Schmeichel diving to his left-hand side and sips it away. The celebrations in the United goalmouth continue, and the momentum's back with the men in white. Manchester United are still in the FA Cup. Back pass later, Schmeichel right-footed against it clear, and David Ellery looks at his watch, and play continues. It's 1-1. What a fantastic save by Schmeichel, denying Dennis the Menace from the penalty spot, and now the momentum with United. High ball over the top. Seaman will pick it up away to the right-hand side, and the treble dream survives.
Well, we thought we were going home early, I think, Jim, you and I. That's unbelievable. There's still twists and turns in this game. It's been an unbelievable tie. Both games, really, there's been so many things happening in both games.
Referee goes across towards the far side as Bergkamp and Parler and Phil Neville all get involved in heated discussion on that far touchline. Parler's already received a yellow card and will be spoken to by David Ellery. Phil Neville and Parler both told to calm down, and Arsenal won't be down to 10 men because Parler escapes with a lecture. Phil Neville having escaped a bad challenge on Parler with a magnificent Peter Schmeichel save from Dennis Bergkamp's penalty.
Yeah, it was a little bit close to the goalkeeper, wasn't it? It wasn't right in the corner as you expect from Bergkamp, but well anticipated by Peter Schmeichel. The thing about it is when he got a hand to it, he knocked it well wide out, well out of the danger area.
Ball away through the midfield, and David Ellery signals the first victory for United, and that is that they've got through to 90 minutes and extra time. Arsenal 1, Manchester United 1. Bergkamp on 69 minutes, having a penalty save 2 minutes into injury time. And this dramatic FA Cup semi-final lives on. United's treble dream still intact. Let's go to Main Road, and we'll get the final details very shortly of Manchester City's victory against Luton Town. 2-0 they won tonight to go third in the second division. It's also finished Middlesbrough 0, Chelsea 0. We'll go to Main Road very shortly. We'll also bring you details from the Riverside Stadium. Middlesbrough 0, Chelsea 0, full-time score there. Let's go to Main Road. City beating Luton tonight. Chris Cooper.
So a comfortable win. Very comfortable, in fact. Settled inside the opening 10 minutes, and City up a place for third in the second division table. 2 points behind Walsall, but they have got 2 games in hand. City should have improved their goals tally though. Preston and Gillingham have both scored more, and that could be the difference between automatic promotion and the playoffs. Paul Dickoff got things going after 4 minutes. Edgell's long punt out of defence down the left was headed on by Gota into his path, and he comfortably beat Kelvin Davis. 5 minutes later, Horlock's right-wing corner was headed back across his own goal by Trevor Candle, and Tony Vaughan stooped to conquer for number 2. From then on, it should have been a formality. Luton just never threatened, but while City had all the play, Davis didn't have much to do. Too often, Luton, who frequently had 10 men behind the ball, frustrated City without creating anything of their own. Substitute Gareth Taylor thought he'd scored late on, but the flag was already up. Dickoff went close from long range, but the points were safe. Maybe the City fans are starting to save up for the playoffs. It was the lowest crowd here since Christmas, 26,130, although to be fair, Luton didn't take up their full allocation. Manchester City 2, Luton Town 0.
1-1 it is here at Villa Park after 90 minutes. Michael saving a Bergkamp penalty in injury time after United will play down to 10 men when Roy Keane was sent off for a second bookable offence. We'll be off to the Riverside Stadium shortly, and we'll be back here for all the extra time action. All the drama, amazingly, is still to unfold tonight, live on Century 105.
Century 105 Sports. So good, you'll think you're there with your local Northwest Ford dealer.
What's this? Spend a free weekend with Beckham, gigs in Keene. I see them whoever days it is. It's not for you, Alex, it's for our fans. This weekend they can watch MUTV absolutely free from 6 p.m. to midnight, Friday to Sunday. We're playing Sheffield Wednesday at home on Saturday, you know. That's right, and after the match, viewers can watch an exclusive interview with you. I'll do that, okay? The offer's available to Sky Digital and cable and wireless subscribers. Call 0870-848-6888 for more information and watch MUTV free for the weekend. Or I want to know why not.
Free preview weekend takes place from Friday 16th of April to Sunday 18th of April inclusive. Free offer does not apply to existing MUTV subscribers.
Who offers you superb reliability from Liverpool to Belfast? Who offers you a 3-day night cruiser return for a car and up to 2 passengers for only £199? Who offers you a 4-course evening meal, ensuite berth and full breakfast included in the price?
North Irish Ferries. Sail away night and day with North Irish Ferries. For further details, contact North Irish Ferries on 0151 944 1010 or your local travel agent. Fares subject to terms and conditions.
So, Ron, what can you say? Well, Bob, the picture's superb, lush green. I think they've got the pH just about right, about 5.6, not too alkaline, not too acid. As you know, it's absolutely critical.
Good point, Ron. Good point.
Need some excitement? The Fiesta VTEC. Advanced enjoyment at your Northwest Ford dealer now.
Extra time.
Arsenal have it with Dennis Bergkamp. 3 seconds into extra time and Stam will knock it away. United have made a substitution with Dwight York coming on for Ollie Solskjaer, as Frank has quite rightly pointed out. Simply because he can hold the ball up. Get Frank's views on the substitution very short. We'll run down the sides for you as they are on the pitch. That could take some doing. A bit of mental calculation and agility. The ball will be brought down by York using his hand, but he gets away with it. Petit and Vieira are in the midfield, out towards the left-hand side for Overmars, 5 yards inside his own half. Right-footed. Parler makes a run forward down the right-hand touchline, and Nelka's in a central position. It's Arsenal 1, Manchester United 1. United taking the lead on 17 minutes with Beckham. Arsenal equalising on 69 minutes through Bergkamp, shot deflecting off Stam and going in. Seconds after that, Arsenal scored again. It was ruled out for offside after a mistake by Peter Schmeichel, and Nicholas Anelka was there to poke the loose ball home into the empty net. That one ruled out. 3 minutes after that, Keane was sent off for a second book of offence, a late challenge on Overmars. Phil Neville's late challenge inside the penalty area in injury time almost gave Arsenal the chance of winning the game. Parler brought down Bergkamp, saw his penalty saved by Schmeichel, and we're in injury time, in extra time. 90 seconds into extra time, live on Century 105 with your local Northwest Ford dealer, the Manchester United station, the official station of the biggest club in the world. And it's an Arsenal corner which will be taken on that far touchline. Ray Parler will push forward, and Petit, it will be to swing it in on that left-hand side. Arsenal attacking the Holt end again, as they did in the first half. Left-footed ball swung in, Stam heads it away. Good header on the edge of the 6-yard box under pressure from Adams. Out towards that left-hand side once more. Still Arsenal have it, the red and white pushing forward towards the edge of the penalty area. Vieira is up there, brought down by Beckham. Beckham will chest it forward and will try and use his pace to get past Overmars, who slid in and steered it back to Winterburn inside the centre circle. Down towards his near side for Bergkamp. Bergkamp, right-footed, will be able to bring it forward. Parler towards the edge of the box. Still Bergkamp has it. Parler to Anelka. Anelka on the right-hand side. Chips the ball inside the penalty area, looking for Vieira. Good header by Gary Neville, took it off his head. Overmars on the left-hand side. It's the side with the bottle that's going to win this one now. Overmars towards the left-hand edge of the penalty area. Gets round his man, low ball in towards Bergkamp. Good challenge comes in from Johnson, and it'll be brought clear by Gary Neville outside his own penalty area. 2.5 minutes into extra time. The ball played forward and knocked forward by Petit and out of play. And Frank, the first break in play in extra time, gives me a chance to ask you what you make of the substitution. York to Solskjaer.
Yeah, I think Solskjaer's done very well in the game. I just think that is when Alex Ferguson made a change and he took off Teddy Sheringham, I thought he would have been more of my choice for one, especially with a man down, to keep him on the field because he can hold the ball up better. Solskjaer isn't the most aggressive of players, but I can see why he's done it about on
Petit played it forward, almost managed to thread in Nicholas Anelka. Stam sliding in, got it clear. Gary Neville couldn't make a challenge in that position. Here's Overmars in the edge of the penalty area. Right footy shot from distance. Wonderful save by Schmeichel over to his left-hand side, and he's hurt. Peter Schmeichel has hurt himself, falling on his left leg, and United have used all three substitutes, and Schmeichel on the edge of the 6-yard box, diving to his left, has hurt himself in making another save from the top draw.
What a fantastic shot from Dennis Bergkamp. What a save. Absolutely brilliant. Diving to his left-hand side, getting both hands to it. Unfortunately, I think he's landed on his knee. I don't think he twisted. It just looked like he landed on his knee and on the hard surface may have hurt it, but that was a top-class save from Peter Schmeichel. We were writing him off a couple of months ago. I'll tell you what, he's certainly earned his corn tonight.
United at the moment, Schmeichel in goal, Gary Neville, Stam Johnson and Phil Neville the back four, Beckham, Butt, Giggs and Scholes in midfield, York up front, and they've used their substitutes. Arsenal, Seaman in goal, Dixon Adams, Keona Winterburn across the back, Parla Vieira, Petit and substitute Mark Overmars in midfield, Bergkamp and Anelka up front with Kanu, Vivas, Ball and Lukic. Two of those four can still come on. And away to our left-hand side, David Seaman acknowledges the applause and the chants of the Arsenal fans. And it's the Arsenal fans who are singing, the United fans who are nail-biting. Schmeichel on the edge of the 6-yard box, still receiving treatment from United physio David Fairbrother. 4.5 minutes into extra time. That means that there'll be lengthy injury time at the end of this first period of extra time. The last thing that United need is for Schmeichel's agility and mobility to be lessened. He could be busy in the next 25 minutes, and if it goes to penalties, of course, his presence will be essential. It's the second Arsenal corner of extra time. Swung in left-footed over the head of everybody inside the penalty area. And Nelka almost got there. Overmars will pick it up down by the corner flag. Laid short towards the left-hand side. Right-footed ball swung inside the penalty area and headed away by Paul Scholes. Bounces in front of Nigel Winterburn. Inside the centre circle. He plays it down towards this near side for Ray Parler. Shirt outside his shorts. He drives it in. The Flaxen head midfielder towards the edge of the penalty area. And Gary Neville climbing high above the area. Claims he didn't get a shout from any of his teammates and heads it out of play for another Arsenal corner. It's their third corner of extra time. They only forced 2 in the 90 minutes. They've had 3 in the last 5 minutes.
I think what's happened there, Gary Neville had actually stayed up, and he said Tony Adams was offside, but the referee's assistant didn't see it that way.
In comes the corner. From that left-hand touchline, be Petit, the Frenchman with a ponytail, to swing it in. Left-footed from that far touchline. Just waiting for a bit of movement inside the penalty area. Left-footed outswinger over the head of Tony Adams. Almost broke on the edge of the penalty area for Dennis Bergkamp, who will be able to bring it down, but he's presented it to Beckham, has he? Beckham can bring it forward. Scored the game's first goal. That seems an age ago. Down to Parler on this near touchline. 1-1 in extra time. United down to 10 men. Schmeichel saving a penalty in injury time at the end of the 90 minutes. And a good save it was too. And Nelka to Parler. Right-footed ball. Swung across. And snatching at it somewhat. Martin Keown 8 yards out. Heads high over the bar, and if you were a United fan and you wanted any player to be on the end of a chance, a man that went at one stage 7 years without scoring would probably be top of your list.
Yeah, I think so, and you do feel that if he's going to be in there, there's not much chance of him scoring. He hasn't scored too many goals in his career, but it shows you Arsenal's intent, and when they've left the centre-backs up, as soon as things break, instead of just getting back, they just get the 2 players up. But I've also noticed Dennis Bergkamp is playing that little bit deeper, and he's starting to run at people and try and create openings.
Here's Overmars towards the edge of the penalty area. Lays it off for Bergkamp, just sitting back behind 3 other Arsenal midfielders. Down towards Parler, right-footed ball in, appeals for handball against Phil, never get off, it was never handball. Clear, down through the centre circle, Vieira heads it down for Petit. Petit towards this near touchline for Lee Dixon. 7 minutes into extra time. Dixon on this near touchline, back behind Emmanuel Petit, who will bring the ball forward towards the edge of the penalty area. Still Emmanuel Petit has it. Towards the left-hand side is Winterburn. Threaded through towards Bergkamp. Felt he was obstructed. Good defending, though. Gary Neville and Schmeichel will be able to pick it up.
Excellent defending there. He saw the run as Bergkamp came across and used his body and his strength. Didn't push the player, but just made sure that he wasn't going to get control of the ball and let it run through to Schmeichel. But at the moment, United look quite comfortable, but they really need to do more and get a hold of the ball more when they get possession. And it's easy to start up here saying that, but they really need to get a hold of it. They need to get the ball into Dwight York's feet and see if they can get up and support him quickly.
High ball over the top. York on the ground where he made his name, scoring 99 goals in the claret and blue. Scholes right for his shot from distance, well wide of David Seaman's right-hand post. United's first shot, well, since Arsenal scored.
Yeah, I think he had to do that there. There was nothing ahead of him except Dwight York, who was tightly marked. And the ball just set up for a second, and you've got to fancy, having a shot from that distance. Again, it's going to take an exceptional shot to beat David Seaman from there.
Ball played forward by Arsenal through the midfield. Patrick Vieira, used to winning cup ties, of course, played in the French side that beat Brazil 3-0 in the magnificent Stade de France in northern Paris. Here in northern Birmingham, Vieira hasn't had a great deal of influence, but he's done everything like he normally does, very quietly, very efficiently, and has been such a fundamental part of this successful Arsenal unit. Butt will play it forward. Bit of space now for United. Nicky Butt motorsport. York ahead of it. Giggs pushes forward into a central position. Butt sliding in. Beats Ray Parler to Phil Neville. Phil Neville to Scholes. Scholes right-footed through the midfield. Finds Dwight York. Back to Scholes. Right-footed ball. Good ball as well. Shipped out towards Beckham on the right-hand touchline. Giggs on the left. York on the right. Laid short towards Gary Neville. Gary Neville flicks the ball back over the top. David Beckham couldn't bring it into his stride. It's out of play for a throw. It should be taken by Arsenal midway inside their own half. First half minutes gone in extra time. 99 on the clock. Arsenal 1, Manchester United 1. A very physically and mentally draining night for the Manchester United players, coming 7 days before their vital game out in Juventus. Ball brought forward. Of course, Saturday, United at home to Sheffield Wednesday will be there, bringing you every kick live and exclusive on 105 on Century 105. Ball brought forward towards the edge of the penalty area. Parler's in there. Bergkamp on the right-hand touchline plays the ball back across and hammered away by Gary Neville. Out of play for a throw, for a corner which is taken on this near touchline, and it will be taken by Petit once more. Century 105, the only station that brings you live, exclusive commentary from Manchester United's home domestic games next season. We're the only station that you can hear every English game, every game played on English soil, played by United. Petit to drive the corner in from the right-hand side, left-footed. Schmeichel is beaten. Brilliant save by Schmeichel. An unbelievable save. A reaction save. The ball came in his face and he just got his hands to it to flick it away. And United survive again. Winterburn plays it back to David Seaman. And Peter Schmeichel tonight has just been absolutely mesmeric between the 6-4 United. I think it was Ronnie Johnson that got the touch to deflect it back towards his own goal. And Schmeichel beat it out. And that really was a reaction save. It came to him so fast and from such close range. York slides in and Vieira will play the ball across to Adams, and we're 101 minutes into the game and it's 1-1. Adams out towards the left-hand touchline. Winterburn will bring the ball forward. You just wonder now if it's United's night. Winterburn square towards Petit. Petit to Vieira. Vieira on this near side of Dixon. If United win this, will be one of the great wins. It certainly has been one of the great cup ties. Dixon plays it forward off Giggs. Throw to Arsenal. Brilliant save by Schmeichel.
A fantastic save, and Ronnie Johnson didn't know anything about that. The ball came over Tony Adams' head. He was looking to flick it on, and the ball bounced up, and it hit him. And when it was going towards goal, and for some reason, but Schmeichel made a brilliant save.
And now creates the penalty area. Shot comes in again. Schmeichel didn't move for that. He knew it was beaten if it was on target from Overmars. Thankfully, it wasn't on target, and it's a goal kick which will be taken by Schmeichel. Another United player is down injured, needing a bit of treatment. Ronnie Johnson just feeling his right ankle.
Yeah, it isn't even that. They're just showing it again on the monitor there. Johnson tried to hook it away. It went off his knee, but Schmeichel made a great save. Right, I've been looking at Johnson the last 5 minutes. He is struggling. He is actually struggling, not just with that challenge, but I think he is struggling generally with his fitness. I noticed when he's trying to stick very, very close to an Elka, there's no possibility for anybody else to go on, and I just think that he's really got to dig out. You know, he's really got to dig himself in there and say, right, I'm going to get on with this and just try and be positive.
Steve McLaren has leapt off the United bench and is bellowing instructions, really trying to get every last ounce of the United players. Bergkamp pushing for Kanu will be on for Arsenal very shortly. Great challenge comes in from Butt on Bergkamp. York will try and hold it up on this near touchline. Lays it short for Giggs. Giggs left-footed ball driven forward. Hit the side of Lee Dixon's face. Bounces down after a decent second touch from him. Vieira brings it forward. Parler ahead of Dennis Bergkamp. Knocks it square towards Overmars. Coming out from the defensive line, Gary Neville can knock it away with Scholes to his right-hand side. Gary Neville can just flick it out towards that right-hand touchline for Beckham. Couldn't play the ball forward towards York. Cut out by Keown. Keown to Bergkamp inside the centre circle. 102.5 minutes gone. Arsenal 1, Manchester United 1. A simply extraordinary cup tie. And as Murray Walker would say, I use that word advisedly. On that left-hand touchline, it's brought forward towards the edge of the penalty area. Knocked away once more. with Arsenal playing it in. Hammered away on the edge of the 6-yard box by Ronnie Johnson. York goes up for it, flicks it out of the danger area. He's got superior pace to Tony Adams, but not superior enough, with Adams only got 10 yards to go and have a 5-yard start. Dixon will bring the ball inside the centre circle again for Petit, and Petit will turn it forward towards the halfway line. The second time United and Arsenal have gone to extra time live on Century 105 in the space of 3 days. Now towards this near touchline, be brought forward by Parler. Don't forget, Scotty fans, we will be with Scotty as soon as the big match action's finished here at Villa Park. Vieira, I'm sure you understand the circumstances. Vieira to Adams, down to the left-hand side for Winterburn. Winterburn towards the edge of the penalty area. Still Nigel Winterburn goes. Low ball in, hammered away by Butt once more. United's rearguard action doing well so far, touch wood. And Kanu will come on for Arsenal. Arsenal physio Gary Lewin just attracting the attention of the official on the far side, or the referee. And now David Ellery looks over and the throw will have to be retaken. Kanu will come on. In fact, the throw won't be retaken and play will just continue for a moment. Dixon towards the right-hand touchline for Nicholas Anelka, who's just got that little bit deeper for it. Anelka will cut into a central position. Still Anelka goes, running towards the right-hand side. Here's Lee Dixon, right-footed, hanging cross. Bergkamp attacking it on the far post, can't bring it down. Kanu will come on for Arsenal, and there's a minute of the first half of extra time to go as he comes on to replace Ray Parler. 104 gone, Arsenal 1, United 1.
Yeah, I think this could have a big influence. You know, he's come on fresh. I think we tend to forget that the players have really done very well. That every single player out there has given everything. I mean, apart from what, there's Giggs and Scholes and Dwight York now for United. But defensively, they have to really work their socks off and try and keep hold of this ball. And not so much waste time, but rather, you know, you've got to pick the times when they can get forward and get up with the forward players. And it's not always possible because of the amount of time they've been out there and how long they've been playing.
£3.5 million Canoe cost. He's only started 2 games so far for Arsenal. This is 9th appearance as a substitute, but he's got a couple of goals in his spell at Highbury after his move from Inter Milan. The ball's out of play, and it's in the Arsenal half. And Phil Neville will take it forward and will waste as much time as he can, just adjusts his left shin pad as he waits for options. United have flooded every outfield player into the Arsenal half as it happens, but every Arsenal player has gone back with them. Giggs on this near touchline, trying to twist and turn his way past Canoe. It breaks down for Petit to bring it forward, with Vieira flicking it forward for Anelka, and now with Ronnie Johnson not rendered immobile but still struggling. United have to defend with the ball played over the top, and Overmars will take up a central position as Winterburn flicks into a more central position for Bergkamp. Bergkamp chips over the top. Petit is the runner, lunges in, couldn't get there, felt as though he's been pulled down by Paul Scholes. He's the world's biggest optimist. Peter Schmeichel will bounce the ball twice from the edge of his 6-yard box and will knock the ball upfield. We're in injury time at the end of the first half of extra time.
Yeah, and it's United have done well up to here, but there's still 15 more minutes to go after this once he blows that whistle for the break. Oh, he can't afford to lose it there.
With Scholes giving it away, Arsenal bringing it forward, 3 against 2. Overmars shoots! Overmars puts it wide.
That is a let-off. Paul Scholes dilly-dallied in the midfield. He had 3 players ahead of him, and United can't afford that. In fact, available on his right-hand side was Gary Neville. He lost the ball to 3 Arsenal players, and that was a let-off for United, that he missed the target because Peter Schmeichel was in no man's land, and he struggled to actually get across to the ball, and he is struggling with his knee at the moment. But I've got to say that they can afford to take chances. They may even just have to knock the ball into spaces behind, get the Arsenal defence turning, and try and get them to play through them from their own back line.
Schmeichel's knee bad enough to necessitate Gary Neville taking the goal kick for him. York will get on the end of it and heads it down a beautiful cushion header towards Giggs, who will, as every side tries to do when they're time wasting, take the ball towards the corner flag, and Giggs has done well. Fouled by Lee Dixon. Free kick to be taken by United. 3 yards in from the left-hand side, and with this coming so deep into injury time at the end of extra time, United taking the risk, and Johnson and Stammer going forward, and if they can get this set piece up to a tee, then perhaps Beckham will knock it in from the left-hand side. Flick header comes, but it's that of an Arsenal player, and it will steer it away towards the left-hand side for Overmars to bring it away, and they will turn round at the end of the first half of extra time at 1-1.
Yeah, and what a great first half of extra time for United. They have held on and dug in. A fantastic save from Schmeichel. 2 fantastic saves from Schmeichel. But we can keep on. We've got to just hope that they can last for another 15 minutes. and then we get the penalties, because I think that's their best chance of getting through to the final.
Let's very quickly go to Teesside. Details of Middlesbrough's 0-0 draw with Chelsea tonight from Gordon Cox.
Middlesbrough 0, Chelsea 0. Chelsea missing out on the chance to go top of the table for the first time since January. And truth be told, they were pretty well pegged back by a Middlesbrough side who created most of the game's chances. Not that there were too many of them. Goalkeepers Ed De Hoy and Mark Schwarzer were rarely extended. De Hoy extended perhaps more than Schwarzer, although Schwarzer pulling up a very good save in the final 15 minutes, denying Gianfranco Zola, who'd burst from the halfway line to the position inside the edge of the penalty area. Middlesbrough thought they had a penalty just shortly before that when Torre-Andre Flo appeared to pull down Colin Cooper. But honours even in front of 34,406. Fairly well balanced sort of game. Most of the pressure for Middlesbrough, but no real incision up front. 6 bookings, no goals. Middlesbrough 0, Chelsea 0.
Arsenal will get us off and running for the second half of extra time, playing from right to left towards the north stand. Peter Schmeichel has ambled from one end of the pitch to the other. United war weary, but still in the war. Arsenal 1, Manchester United 1. Schmeichel the hero. Overmars pushes forward now, running at Gary Neville down the left-hand side. Takes it towards the corner flag. Turns inside Gary Neville. Left-footed ball flighted over the top. Schmeichel backpedaled nervously for a moment, but saw the ball sail high over his head. Okay, so United have played the last 15 minutes of the 90 with 10 men. They've played the first 15 minutes of extra time with 10 men. They're 2/3 of the way there, Pratt. Does it get easier as time goes on?
No, it doesn't. It's the concentration levels. The tiredness gets to you, and you have to concentrate to try and keep the ball, and it's very, very difficult because the back players have done absolutely fantastic. Now that with Schmeichel not being able to kick the ball, I think that will be, you're looking at it thinking, can they push up, but they can't really get out of their own half because it's difficult for them just to keep possession, just even for 5 seconds. And it's relentless. You just think, can they hold on? And when we get to that last 5 minutes, if Arsenal haven't scored, we're looking at that as possibly that being the most crucial time.
Overmars heads it over the top of the United defence, who tried to play the offside trap and did play it. The only problem was the referee's assistant wasn't playing. Let me remind you, if you're tuning in for Scotty McClue, unfortunately, because the football has gone into extra time with penalties on the agenda, we will be with Scotty as soon as the big match action is over from here at Villa Park. Don't forget, Scotty will be here. Just hang fire for the Dinky Doo merchant. It'll be a free kick which will be taken by United 5 yards inside their own half. Played for by Phil Neville. We played 107 minutes here at Villa Park with 120 played, 227 played in total in this FA Cup semi-final, and still we cannot split these two sides. Thanks primarily to some magnificent goalkeeping. One fantastic save from Seaman and a brilliant save from Peter Schmeichel from a penalty. United have it with Gary Neville on this near touchline. Overmars comes across the cover. Gary Neville's played it back to Peter Schmeichel. Now back pass is not what Schmeichel wants with his difficulty that he's having kicking. He juggled it up on the right-hand edge of the penalty area and flicked it away. Beckham helps it on, but puts pressure on Petit, who has to head it back towards Tony Adams. Midway inside his own half, he hits it on the half volley out towards the right-hand side for Dixon. And Dixon, 5 yards into the right-hand touchline and a decent distance inside his own half, plays it forward for Petit, for Vieira. Vieira down towards his left-hand side for Winterbert. United are 12 minutes away from penalties, and that will be a major victory in itself. Vieira gives it away. Chance for United to break with Giggs. Scholes will push forward. York makes a run blindside. Giggs running at 2, 3, 4 Arsenal defenders. Still right. Giggs goes. Still right. Giggs goes. What a goal! What an extraordinary goal! Ryan Giggs has just scored one of the great FA Cup goals. Sprinting forward, beat 4 challenges, fired it in from a tight angle into the roof of the net. Arsenal 1, Manchester United down to 10 men, 2. The fans are on the pitch. Euphoric scenes on the far side. Giggs with one of the great goals, and Arsenal fans absolutely silenced. United fans cannot believe what they've just witnessed. Ryan Giggs, quiet, disappointing throughout these 2 games, quiet and disappointing for a lot of the last month, has just produced the best moment of his career, a sublime moment. Arsenal 1, Manchester United 2.
Well, what a fantastic, he's gone past 3 players who were afraid, once he went inside, afraid to tackle him, and his finish was sublime. Beats Seaman on the near post, absolutely fantastic, and that is a better goal than the one that he got against Juventus at Old Trafford.
4 played forward. Schmeichel makes the save on the edge of the 6-yard box.
I think
well, at the very least, they ought to get a penalty.
I'll be doing the rest of this comedy, Jim, if you keep shouting like that.
Oh, what a goal. Schmeichel plays the ball forward. Giggs heads it on the left-hand side, and Arsenal on the right-hand touchline will play the ball forward over the halfway line, brought down by Vieira. United have to concentrate, have to get bodies back behind the ball. They're not there yet. 10 minutes to go. 2-1 to the 10 men. Left-hand side, Overmars plays the ball in. Comes off Beckham, back to Overmars again, right-footed ball, chipped over the top, brought down on the edge of the box by Anelka, and a left foot of epic proportion whacks it upfield. York will try and get on the end of it. Good touch by York. He's got inside Tony Adams, lays it back for Beckham. York springs forward at the right-hand side. Scholes plays it into York. York has got Giggs in miles of space on the far touchline. Every United fan was trying to shout that towards him. Adams, though, can get it away. Bergkamp through the centre circle to Kanu, and Kanu will bring the ball forward. Adams pushing forward for Arsenal. Arsenal 1, Manchester United 2. Here's Anelka breaking forward. Knocked away though at the back by United once more to Beckham. Beckham sprinting forward. York bends his run to try and stay onside. Knocked away by Arsenal. And as far as Gary Neville, Arsenal committing bodies forward. Beckham was offside as the ball was played forward, and it'll be a free kick which will be taken. And Alex Ferguson furious with Beckham had just sounded his run better there. He was clean through. Easy to say from here.
I think he just needed to get hold of the ball. He just needed to get the ball, didn't he? And get hold of it in the midfield, take it back and keep possession. Trying to get through. It's a bit like Roy the Rovers now. They can't afford to do it. They've still got 10 men against 11.
Arsenal right-hand side. Parler to Petit. Left-footed ball to Winterburn. Left-hand side. United have still flooding bodies back. Left-footed ball swung inside the penalty area. It'll be brought back down. Right-footed ball chipped back across. Canoe on the end of it, but it just went onto the roof of the net and away for a goal kick, which will be taken by Peter Schmeichel. And we've played 21 minutes of extra time, 111 minutes of the tie. It's Arsenal 1, Manchester United 2, and Giggs has got one of the famous goals in FA Cup history, and that is honestly no exaggeration.
No, it's hard to try and find one that's in comparison or better. And I think that's, once he got the ball, he picked the ball up in his own half after a poor pass by Vieira, and just was positive, went forward. And that's the Ryan Giggs that we know he can do those things. It isn't just a one-off, but he doesn't do it often enough for enough people.
Beckham takes it down towards the corner flag, holds it up by the corner flag. Winterburn is in there trying to dig the ball away. Beckham did well. He wasted some valuable seconds. Pushed Emmanuel Petit. Beckham goes to ground. He's already got a yellow card. Petit looks, daggers at him, and then just taps him underneath the chin and helps him up. And it's all fair in love and war. But United, with time ticking down, have got 8 minutes to hold on. Arsenal 1, Manchester United 2. What an FA Cup semi-final. Absolutely brilliant. Adams to Petit. Petit out towards the right-hand side. Keown brings it forward for Arsenal. Keown out towards that far touchline. On the right-hand touchline, Dixon will bring the ball forward for Vieira. Vieira to Petit for United, who were out of the cup when they had a penalty given against them in injury time at the end of the 90 minutes. Well, so everybody thought. Schmeichel saved it, and then Giggs scored a brilliant goal to put United back ahead. Overmars will take the throw. Midway inside the United half. Short for Petit. Emmanuel Petit, 5 yards in from the left-hand touchline. Knocks the ball square for Tony Adams. Adams onto his right foot. Still Arsenal bringing it forward. Kanu back towards Adams. Well won by the United midfield once more. It was Butt, who had such a magnificent game on Sunday. Challenged late by Vieira. It's a free kick to Manchester United.
Well, that's a brave decision at this stage of the game by the referee. But he just feel that Vieira, not for the tackle, because I think he got the ball. I think he just pulled Nicky Butt back before that. And this will see, wait a bit more time. But he just noticed that they've told Dwight York to run about a bit more, and he's actually doing that, chasing. But what you got to do is chase defenders. So it's a thankless pass, but at the end of it, it's the prize of playing at Wembley.
Dwight York has played at Wembley before a couple of times for Aston Villa, winning medals. Of course, once against Manchester United in the League Cup final. He'd love to go back with his new club. Adams down towards this left-hand side for Winterburn. Winterburn bringing it forward. Just over 6 minutes to go. And it'll be brought forward by Petit. Petit towards Vieira. Vieira towards the edge of the penalty area. Here's Kanu. Kanu trying to hold it off. Back to Vieira again. Vieira 10 yards outside the penalty area. Makes a return run. Ball played over the top. Deals for a handball against Ryan Giggs. It'll be chased out on that far touchline and kept in by Dixon. But it's just gone out of play for a United throw. Referee's assistant well placed. No qualms from Dixon. And a throw which will be taken by Phil Neville down by his own corner flag. And with 9 minutes of this second period of extra time gone. We've got 6 minutes to go. Arsenal 1, Bergkamp on 69, Manchester United 2, Beckham on 17, Giggs on 109, and United have played since the 75th minute without Roy Keane sent off. Petit to Tony Adams. Adams down towards his left-hand side. Winterburn will bring the ball forward. Left-footed across the midfield. Tony Adams on the end of it. Still Tony Adams goes. Skids around one challenge. Plays it Overmars. Danger for United. Overmars on his right foot. Beckham comes back. Good footed by David Beckham. But will try and get it clear. Held on to it too long. Winterburn picks it up. Left-hand side. Pulls the ball back across. Stan whacks it clear. Petit though is first onto it. Plays it forward for Bergkamp. Bergkamp 20 yards out. Right-footed shot. Took a deflection. Not such a fortuitous deflection as he got in the second half. And it's out of play for a corner.
Well, we're just coming up to this period now, aren't we? That's last 5 minutes where the concentration. I think when United went down to 10 men, they would have accepted getting to the penalty stage. Now, if you ask United supporters, they say, no, we want to hold on to what we've got.
Petit with the corner, edge of the 6-yard box. Adams went up for it. Their hero so many times. Didn't get on the end of it. Bergkamp has the right-hand side. Corner to penalty. Adams header. Just wide. And I mean just wide.
Yeah, it was just wide. It was a good header, but actually what David Beckham did, he made the challenge, made sure he didn't get a free header. He used his body, and I think a lot of people forget David Beckham is nearly 6 foot tall, and he just got in there enough, put Tony Adams off. They did have another Arsenal player just under him, but it was just past the post, and United still live to fight another day.
Gary Neville will take the free kick, right-footed. There have been so many famous encounters between these two famous clubs in the past. The 79 final is still talked about in revered tones. And Frank grins at me when I say that. The Seaman clears away to our right-hand side. We are privileged because whatever the final score tonight, we have witnessed one of the great ties. This has just been extraordinary. And still, you feel, although you hope there isn't, there could be another twist in the tail. Petit will take a free kick for Arsenal. 25, 30 yards outside the penalty area. Swing it forward, left-footed. 3.5 minutes to go. Arsenal 1, Manchester United 2. Petit to take it. Still the 10 men hanging on to this lead, given them fantastically by Giggs. And he comes over the top. Adams goes up for it. Looping header. Looks straight into the hands of Peter Schmeichel, who literally didn't move, stuck his hands out and let the ball drop into him.
Yeah, that was fortunate because United actually defended very, very deep on the 12 on the penalty spot. Very difficult for the goalkeeper to get out there and above everybody else. And that's great play by Dwight York. The ball was knocked out from the goalkeeper. He kept the ball and held off Manuel Petit, who's getting very frustrated at this stage of the game. But this suits United for the Arsenal players to be starting losing their head. Just keep possession of the ball. As long as you've got the ball, they can score the goal.
Beckham takes the free kick, short to Butt forward. But again, only a 10-yard stab ball forward for Giggs, and Nicky Butt was slow to react, and Kanu can bring it away. At the heart of one of the most controversial moments in the FA Cup in years, when he played in Mark Overmars, so controversially against Sheffield United. Kanu's long ball forward, looking for Overmars again. Schmeichel can get it clear, struggling with his kicking, but he got it into the Arsenal half. That was the prime objective. York holding it off. Ball forward for David Beckham. He's offside, and it'll be a free kick which will be taken on this near touchline by Arsenal. Winterburn looks to take it. Arsenal will bring Steve Bold on as an emergency striker for the last 2 minutes. Out towards the right-hand side. He swung forward. Right, put it over the top. United hanging on, and hanging on well at the moment. Phil Neville's high ball over the top. Giggs will chase. Giggs pace is going to get in there before Dixon. York's pushing forward. It's 2 against 2. Arsenal can't afford to get bodies back in numbers, really, because they've got so many people flooded forward to try and get the equalising goal on the far touchline. York's brought down by Lee. Giggs is brought down, should I say, by Lee Dixon. There's some nastiness off the ball, and it will be a free kick which will be taken on that far touchline by United. Now Bold will come on to replace Emmanuel Petit with 2 minutes to go, and Bold, I'm sure, will flood straight forward up front, as he has done so many times before in times of crisis for Arsenal.
Yeah, I think he will just throw him up there and hope that he gets a touch on and gets a goal, because he's quite fresh. But I mean, you would think now that United will actually get to be able to deal with anything that's thrown at them this moment in time.
Petit comes off, Steve Bold comes on, and the free kick will be taken by United, and it will be taken down by the corner flag on the far side, and I bet you they knock it 2 yards from one of them to the other, and they will keep possession as long as they can down by that corner flag. And it's York over it. Giggs is over it as well on that far side. And referee David Ellery lets the free kick be taken, and straight away Giggs to York, and York takes it down towards the corner flag, and the ball stays in the corner quadrant, and Dixon is forced into knocking it out of play, and it will be a throw which will be taken on that far touchline by Manchester United. And by my watch, we've got 40 seconds, less than 40 seconds, almost only 30 seconds left. And it's Arsenal 1, Manchester United 2, and they're within touching distance now at the end of a quite unbelievable game of football. Giggs towards York. York, corner of the penalty area. Arsenal get it away and will whack it forward. Bold and Anelka up for them. Overmars bringing it forward down towards this near touchline. He gets the return ball from Keogh, and the referee, fourth official, says there's only 1 minute extra to be played. Johnson with a vital header finds Butt, who's headed out towards the left-hand side, plays in Phil Neville. Phil Neville's long ball forward goes out of play, or will be kept in play on that far side by David Seaman. Or is the referee given an offside? It's a free kick which will be taken on that far touchline, not forward. Played forward by Arsenal in injury time. Right-footed ball towards the edge of the box. Canoe goes up for it, flick down looking for Steve Bold. Headed away on the far side by United. Vieira goes up for it far side. Challenges with Dwight York. York shown outside. Vieira tries to get the ball in. Comes off York. Arsenal have a throw. We're in injury time. We've played 30 seconds of injury time at the end of extra time. 2 on the United. Ball towards the edge of the box. Flips over the top. Adams on the end of it. Bold on the end of it. Arsenal trying to line up inside the centre. And Gary Neville with a calmest head inside the Midlands. Nods it back to Peter Schmeichel. And Schmeichel will get it forward right-footed. High ball over the top. Mr. Ellery looks at his watch. Bounces inside the centre circle. Brought down by Dixon. Down to Winterburn. Winterburn on the left-hand side. York tracks back. Winterburn will take it. 20 players ahead of him. Winterburn left-footed ball out towards the far side of the penalty area. Headed back down. It's going to break for Anelka. It's gone wide and out of play for a goal kick which Peter Schmeichel will take. And Manchester United have, I'm sure now, produced one of the most unbelievable cup victories that this great century-old competition has seen for years and years and years. Down to 10 men against the double holders. They saved a penalty in the last minute. Gary Neville will take this kick, surely the last kick of the game. He hits it forward, right-footed, and the referees blow the final whistle. Manchester United are at Wembley. They've beaten the double dream out of Arsenal. 2-1, a quite sensational victory. Manchester United, heroes all, but Peter Schmeichel saving a penalty in the 92nd minute of the game, in injury time at the end of the 90, when it seemed as though the treble dream was in tatters. Schmeichel the hero then, Giggs the hero with a quite extraordinary goal in the second period of extra time, and it's finished Arsenal 1, Manchester United 2, and United will play Newcastle in the Saturday sunshine on Saturday, May the 22nd, live on Century 105, after the greatest victory I have been ever privileged to see. Arsenal 1, Manchester United 2, and you heard every kick live on the Northwest Soccer Station.
Century 105 Sports. So good, you'll think you're there with your local Northwest Ford dealer. It was all happening this morning on Morgan in the Morning.
Hey Morgan, I'm on the wrong competition here. I've phoned up for the football ticket.
Did you?
Yeah.
You're joking, Nick.
I don't know if we go like this, but anyway, go on, we'll try here the gamekeeper.
No, you don't have to be at this game.
Oh, I know it's there, but I've set the butler, then I can't get back on. Because
This is the first time in my life I have ever had a contestant on who deliberately gets it wrong.
Morgan in the Morning, weekdays from 7. Century 105 Sports. So good, you'll think you're there.
Out on the pitch here at Villa Park, I would imagine about 250 Manchester United fans are on the pitch. Still Ryan Giggs hasn't got off the pitch. He's just being cheered up by the United fans, and Beckham being cheered up by the United fans as well. Such a famous win. Let's just very quickly recap on the extraordinary events as they've unfolded. Alex Ferguson down to the police are just getting involved away to the left-hand side, and a few more fans down there. Just a little bit of over-exuberance from the Manchester United fans. But Arsenal went behind to a 17th minute goal from David Beckham. Dennis Bergkamp equalising on 69 minutes after United had just missed two really decent chances. Solskjaer and Blomqvist both through, but they couldn't get the second goal that looked as though it would be the winner. Bergkamp hit a right-footed shot deflected off Jaap Stam. 1-1. Seconds later, Nicolas Anelka had a goal ruled out for offside after a bad mistake by Schmeichel. Then moments after that, Roy Keane was sent off. A second bookable offence, a late challenge on Overmars. It looked as though United were hanging on. They desperately formed some sort of rearguard action. Players behind the ball trying to keep Arsenal out. But the 11 men with Overmars, the substitute, looking supremely confident, caused problems. Phil Neville brought Parler down in injury time at the end of the 90 minutes. Dennis Bergkamp stepped up, but had his penalty saved by Peter Schmeichel diving away to his left-hand side. Then, in extra time, Bergkamp had a shot saved, tipped wide brilliantly, a magnificent save from Schmeichel denied Ronnie Johnson. Mark Overmars shot wide, and then the game's crowning moment, the winner from Ryan Giggs, a 60-yard run and shot after beating 4 challenges, and United were at Wembley. Don't forget, you're waiting for Scotty McClue. He'll be with us very, very shortly. I'm sure you can understand the euphoria here at Villa Park. Just staying with it a few moments longer, breathing in the atmosphere of United's famous victory, a 2-1 win against Arsenal, though some of the Arsenal fans are now trying to get onto the pitch, and danger of confrontation away to our right-hand side. Some of the bitter Arsenal fans just trying to make their presence known. But their double is no longer. Their double dream is over. United have beaten Arsenal by 2-1, Frank, and that is simply a magnificent game of football.
Well, it's one of the best games that I've seen in a long time, and the commitment of both players has got to be, it's got to be mentioned. I think that every player out there gives so much. It's like a reversal of Sunday, wasn't it? 10 men on the Arsenal side, and they held out. And it had to take something like the goal that Ryan Giggs scored to actually separate these sides, because it was an absolutely fantastic piece of skill and ability to dribble at people. And we're just waiting for that Ryan Giggs to come out. That's what he's capable of, taking people on and scoring a goal like that. I mean, David Seaman just didn't know where it was going. What a fantastic finish. But the run-up, picked the ball up in his own half, and all of a sudden Arsenal defenders are backing off. And what a fantastic finish to the night. And they've battled. I mean, there's going to be a few injuries for this weekend, but at the end of it, we've got to say, whew, what a bloody game. Fantastic night. And we've got a long drive home tonight with all these Man United supporters, but I've got to say, what a fantastic evening for them. But I've got to also say about the Arsenal supporters, absolutely brilliant. Apart from the little skirmishes at the end, I think they've got a lot to be proud of. And, one of these teams had to lose tonight. And to lose to a goal like that, at least you say, well, it was something special.
First FA Cup tie 16 that Arsenal have lost, stretching back to February 97. The first time they've been beaten in 22 games. United's unbeaten run now stands at 23. They've got a very real chance of being the first side to win the FA Cup 10 times. They've beaten Arsenal by 2-1. A quite extraordinary night brought to you live on Century 105. Give us 3 days to get the boys back, and we'll be back with you at Old Trafford on Saturday. Manchester United against Sheffield Wednesday. Coverage, of course, of Blackburn, Liverpool and Everton in action as well. But from Frank and myself, at the end of this unbelievable night in North Birmingham, have a good time. Till next time.
Manchester United versus Arsenal.
Beckham into the path of Sheringham. Sheringham back to the direction of play. Lazy shot for Beckham. What a screaming goal! David Beckham breaks the deadlock after 136 minutes of this FA Cup semi-final. Arsenal 0, Manchester United 1. Bergkamp twisting, turning, central position, right footed shot, taken and deflection, and it's gone in. And seconds after David Seaman has produced a top-score save to keep Arsenal in the game, they go down the other end. Bergkamp shot, deflected off Stam. Arsenal 1, United 1. High ball over the top. Johnson on the end of it for Manchester United. Brings it down and has made a mistake. Here's Bergkamp again. Into the penalty area. Schmeichel makes the save. And Nelka 2-1 to Arsenal. terrible mistake by Peter Schmeichel, but on the far touchline, the referee has a look, and the flag is up. The momentum is with Arsenal. They will feel as though they've got effectively 2 goals in 3 minutes here, and Keane is off. Roy Keane sent off. A second FA Cup semi-final red card for Roy Keane at Villa Park. A late challenge on Overmars. He's going forward inside the penalty area. The referee, and it's a penalty to Arsenal. It's Beckham right-footed. Schmeichel saved it. Peter Schmeichel diving to his left-hand side and slips it away. The celebrations in the United combat continue, and the momentum's back with the men in white. Manchester United are still in the FA Cup.
Extra time.
Here's Overmars in the edge of the penalty area, right foot shot from distance. Wonderful save by Schmeichel diving to his left-hand side, and he's hurt. Peter Schmeichel has hurt himself, falling on his left leg, and United have used all 3 substitutes, and Scholes right foot shot from distance, well wide of David Seaman's right-hand post. To drive the corner in from the right-hand side, left-footed. Schmeichel is beaten. Brilliant save by Schmeichel. An unbelievable save. A reaction save. The ball came in his face, and he just got his hands through to flick it away. Scholes giving it away. Arsenal bringing it forward. 3 against 2. Overmars shoots. Overmars puts it wide. Giggs running at 2, 3, 4. Arsenal defenders still right. Giggs goes. Still right. Giggs goes. Yeah. What a goal. What an extraordinary goal. Ryan Giggs has just scored one of the great FA Cup goals. Sprinting forward, beat 4 challenges, fired it in from a tight angle into the roof of the net. Arsenal 1, Manchester United down to 10 men, 2. Beckham has no right-hand side, corner of the penalty, Adams header, just wide, and the referee's blown the final whistle. Manchester United are at Wembley. They've beaten the double dream out of Arsenal.
Century 105 Sports. So good, you'll think you're there with your local Northwest Ford dealer.